What up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to another live stream. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. So happy Friday to all of you guys. Happy Friday to everybody watching, everybody who's joining the live stream, everybody in the chat. I appreciate you guys for supporting the channel. Just want to let you know that. So we're gonna jump right into this live. But before we do, as you come in, make sure you are hitting the like button. Make sure you hit the like button. It definitely supports the channel, y'all. It helps to get these videos, these live streams in the algorithm. Make sure you are hitting the like button as you come into the building. Also, if you are new here, if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It is free to subscribe if you like the content. Also, share the video as well and hit that notification bell to be notified when I go live or post new videos. All right, so we're going to jump into the video. You guys see the title. You see we're going to be talking about. I have a few clips I want to share with you guys and definitely give my commentary to those clips as usual. Shout out to Ryan, Lorenzo, Alex, what's going on, Skinny Boy? What's going on, Fourth Dimension? T, is it T? Shiny glasses. What is that? T1 TCP. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate y'all. Also, you guys, if you are feeling generous and you want to support the channel via Cash App, with super chats, definitely go ahead and do that. It will definitely help the channel out. Yeah, so make sure you guys do that to support the channel, and also if you want to get your questions read in the live stream. So, what's up, Michael? What's going on, Jay Hill? How you guys doing? I hope y'all are doing well. Thank y'all so much for being here. So, as you guys see by the title, single mothers are big mad because men aren't choosing them. So, I definitely want y'all to chime in on this and definitely give your 2 cents or your perspective of what you think about this, because we see what's been happening, child, and it doesn't seem like it's going to change anytime soon. So, we're going to keep talking about it. We're going to keep on, putting that message out there. And if anything, the message that I would like to convey to women is to change your mindset so that you can get what you want. That's all I'm trying to convey. And hopefully there are some women, which I do believe there are some women who are getting the message, because I do come across women who actually tell me their thoughts and they have their heads on straight. So that's how I know that there are women out here who aren't these angry, bitter, aggressive, masculine women. There are still some good women out there. It's just that those women are skeptical about relationships as well, because they had bad experiences in the past. So shout out to the good women who are left. There are still some left, believe it or not. Shout out to all the good men out there, all the men who are striving to do better and build themselves up. Shout out to all of you guys and the good women out there too, because we got to understand, even though the loud hyenas are in the front, there are still some good women out there. It's just hard to get through to them because the influence is so heavy on the hyenas who are loud and proud in the front, thinking that they're right and thinking that they're, going to get what they want with that type of mentality. So shout out to all the good women and men out there. I know that they exist. So we're going to jump right into, what was that? Fourth Dimension say only a few. Well, I say some. I ain't say a whole lot. He said, y'all don't, y'all, this is why I love doing this, because y'all make me laugh. Only a few. Okay, y'all got to let it be known. That's funny to me. Anyway, y'all, ignore my laughter. Let's get into this video. What I was about to say. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the clip, this first clip, which this clip is going viral, y'all, about this man. I'm gonna play it because when I play it, y'all gonna know what I'm talking about. So here we go.
Dating as a single parent, male and female.
So go ahead.
I actually just started kind of dating.
Okay.
So I wouldn't.
Oh, you were off the market.
Right, for a long time.
Okay.
So dating as a single parent is a little difficult to say. But beyond that, I think it's difficult for me to say because I don't have the same experiences as most people.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm a single parent, yes, but I have a nice village that's very helpful. So it doesn't kind of interfere with my dating.
What do you mean by that? You mean like
life.
the kids?
Yeah. Right. When you have a good village, you have good people around you that, you can count on, it makes it a little bit easier when you're dating because you don't have to work around so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking for a sitter and
Right.
stuff like that. Trying to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I would say, when my daughter was very young, I don't think people really believed I had a daughter.
Right. Right.
Because my village was just really great. So my dad would get her every weekend, and from the time she was born up until recent, because now she's a teenager, she make her own little decisions.
That's right.
But up until recent, her dad used to get her like Wednesday through Friday. So that would leave me
Okay.
Monday and Tuesday, which means if I'm dating, I
You're
have
free. You have
Wednesday
free
through
time.
Sunday
Yeah, you have
to
free
make
time.
plans and arrangements.
Okay.
Now, I just want to chime in on that because I saw another reaction. And shout out to this channel. I'll put the full link to the full video in the description. If I forget what the channel name is, I'm so sorry. But shout out to you guys. I'll put the link to the full video. But somebody pointed out that she doesn't, and shout out to this lady, but somebody pointed out that it seems like if you have this village, you have all these people who are watching your child or your children or whatever. Seems like they were saying it seems like she didn't have her child as much. So doesn't seem like she was really doing the full parenting. Like her child was always with somebody else. Y'all let me know if that's what y'all got from that. But somebody did point that out, that your child is always with somebody else, not really you. But that's neither here nor there. We're gonna get to the rest of this because there was a short clip of this going on around social media, and I wanted to give a little bit more context to it because we're gonna get to the main part in just a second. But I want to show you guys how it led up to that if you haven't seen it already. But let's continue.
So Mondays and
That's
Tuesdays
fair.
was off limits, right?
Okay.
So I'm just now entering the single parenting dating realm now that I have Miguel.
Okay.
And even though I still have my village, it's not the same. I'm a little older. Yeah. So now it's making arrangements. It's like,
Okay.
whoa, yeah, this is hard.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can speak generally. I can speak in general or whatever.
No. We're gonna speak direct, brother. I want.
No.
No, listen.
for you.
I want the nitty gritty. I want to hear because listen, man. I gotta live vicariously through you,
Right.
bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel okay. I'll say this. For me personally, dating is not it's not complex for me.
Okay.
Because one, I don't have any restrictions.
Right.
Okay.
And by me saying that, yes, I do have older kids. So
No, but we mean how was dating when your kids were younger?
when they were younger,
Yeah.
well, I mean, yeah, when my kids were younger, when I was dating, it was a little bit of a challenge. Because of course I have kids and the other individuals didn't have kids, so they didn't understand the importance of me helping my children do their homework, putting them to bed, or maybe cooking dinner for them to make sure that they were okay. And sometimes I used to get a lot of backlash, attitude.
Really?
Yeah, of course, because sometimes certain women can be selfish.
Yeah, but that's very selfish.
Because they're
Yeah, certain women for sure can be selfish. And the fact that we have a father in this video talking about taking care of his kids, it just shows that there are fathers who are taking care of their kids, Black fathers who are in their children's lives and doing these things when the narrative is always spun to make you think that there aren't any active Black fathers and these fathers are all deadbeats, when we see fathers like this all the time. There are fathers like this all over the place who are very active in their children's lives and care about their children, because it makes, to say that all Black men are deadbeats and they don't take care of their children or they're not active fathers, it makes certain people think that these men just don't care about their children, and that's just not the case. Now, I'm not, I gotta say this because there are people with bad understanding who just hear what they want to hear. No, I feel like I'm very fair when it comes to this. I understand that there are deadbeats. There are deadbeats. Let's be real. There are men who abandon their responsibilities and don't take care of their children. They are out there. But the problem, and I say this all the time before we get back into it, is people don't like to. This is where I think you have to specify, because others do not specify this. They do not say, oh, there are good Black men. There are good Black fathers. They don't specify this. So to me, I think it's reckless to just say all Black men are just deadbeats. They're dusties. This is what they say. The ones who want to put that out there, this is what they don't distinguish between the good black fathers and the bad ones. It's just all of them are bad. And that's the issue that I have, because I know that that's not the truth. And I'm going to keep expressing that because I think it's important. You can't just continue to allow others to paint that narrative. I know I have a good black man. He's a great father. And I know others that are. That means that's not all. But the narrative is pushed so hard and has been pushed so hard that this is just the state of all black men. Oh, they'll abandon their kids. Black men don't do this. Black men don't do that. We got to stop letting that fly. We got to distinguish the difference. To me, that's just how I feel. That's how my opinion, and that's how I'm going to address it, because I think on the other side of this, they're not specifying the good ones, and they're not focused on the good ones. They're just only focused on the pookies or the ones that they've experienced. And also not being accountable for their part in all of this. It takes two to manage a relationship. It's not just the man's responsibility in relationships. It is not just the man's responsibility when it comes to creating children and taking care of those kids. Just like I say all the time, we got deadbeat mothers, we got deadbeat fathers, right? But for so long, a lot of people have not acknowledged the deadbeat mothers. They look over it, and that's the real issue, in my opinion. I really believe that. I really believe the lack of accountability for women is what's destroying our communities, because women have just lost their minds. They've gone haywire. They're just all over the place doing whatever it is they feel they should do and what they want to do, and they're reckless, and nobody wants to check it. But I do see a glimmer of hope. I do see a glimmer of hope, because I do see more people, and there are more women who are starting to see the recklessness of some of the nature of these women. There is a glimmer of hope, y'all. There is a glimmer, because there are more women who are calling this behavior out and seeing how reckless this is, and they've had enough. It had to get to sometimes it got to get to the worst part of it for you to realize that something has to be done about it. Now, whether it's too late, that's a whole nother story. But I think there is a glimmer of hope, because I do see more women calling this behavior out and realizing that this is just too much. But, whether it's going to pan out whether it's going to change enough to where men start to trust these women and trust that they've changed, that's a whole other story. Because, look, once you realize that it's a problem, it's still a process in order to change that mentality. Just because you recognize that it's a problem finally doesn't mean that you're going to just change overnight. It takes a long time for this type of mentality and behavior to change. Once you accept that you have a problem, then the work starts. It just doesn't, flip a switch and now you're the perfect woman and you got it all. No, because it's a lot of habits that's been what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost like you've been conditioned into that mentality and that mindset. So it's not going to change overnight. You're going to have to work really, really hard to change the way you think and change your behavior and really understand what you need to be doing to better yourself and to better possible relationships in the future. So, just acknowledging that you have an issue or acknowledging, that's the first step. Like an addict, you first have to acknowledge that you have a problem. Well, hey, hi, my name is DeeDee and I have a problem. You have to first acknowledge that. And then once you acknowledge it, then the work starts. You don't just acknowledge it and, I'm good. Come on, man. Men, let's get it to know, because those behaviors are lingering. You still have to change your mentality. Your mentality affects the way you think and how you move, how you act, your actions. So you just don't change overnight. So when I hear people talk about this chameleon, it's real. Yes, there are lots of chameleons who present as one thing and knowing that they're totally something else, because you have not put in the work. So either way you try to spin it, they're going to have to work on their mentality to change that behavior, change that mindset, and then to be a better person for themselves, for their children, and for a man, if you want a man. So I just wanted to point that out. But let's get back into the video. Here we go.
Not in that position because they don't understand what parenting is.
Right.
So of course, so they.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Can y'all hear the clip? Because I have an issue with my audio sometimes. Can y'all hear the clip and can y'all hear me? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear the clip and if you can hear me perfectly fine. Oh my God. 1 in the chat if y'all can hear the audio perfectly fine. before we continue? Y'all can hear it? Okay, thank y'all. What's going on, B-Man TV? What's going on? All right, here we go.
To always get mad. Oh, you're not spending enough time with me. You know, and I used to like take offense to it or whatever.
I'm spending time with my kids.
Yeah, I have to spend time with my kids. I actually cut off women that came at me like that.
Oh, wow.
You get what I'm saying? So
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I can say it was difficult when my kids were younger, when I was
Yeah.
dating and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because my kids is my priority. They come first.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm not a person that particularly likes to date people with kids, anyways. So
Why is that? Why is that?
I prefer not to date people with kids because I don't like to deal with drama. So it has nothing to do with the kids. I love kids. But I just don't like to deal with the drama. And usually they have some form of drama. Even if it's not necessarily like super chaotic or toxic, it's some form of, you guys have an issue.
Okay.
And I don't like to deal with it because
How
I don't
is
have those
that
issues.
fair?
It's very fair. So people
Now he said is that fair? Listen, pay attention to she just said nice and candidly. I don't like she has children or a child or whatever. She's a single mother. She says just as candid as she with a smile on her face. I don't like to date men with children because of whatever reason. It's okay. See how that went. That happened very smoothly, like no issue. Nobody bucked up and like, oh my God. But she has children or a child or whatever. She's a mother. And she doesn't want to date a man with children. You don't hear anybody getting upset, right? Let's just continue. Here we go.
always say that to me, like, that's not fair
That's not
because you
fair,
have
though,
kids,
dog.
right?
Come on.
But the way I counter that is, yes, I have kids, but I don't have that dynamic. You know what I mean? Like,
But I understand, but that's not fair.
it is,
You
because
can't just X somebody
I'm
out.
telling you, I don't want to deal with you because of the drama that comes
But if
along
there's no
with
drama, you can't.
9 times out of 10, I was always right. It's always a female lingering with chaos and toxicity, and it's not and I know that because even just when you talk to people, like I remember being younger, like in my 20s, and I talked to people about me and my daughter's dad's relationship, and they're like, that's not normal, because we don't have that drama and toxicity. So it's like, yeah, I don't want to date nobody with kids because people my age, the girls are still holding on to this man, and it's some type of something going on. You can't see your kid. I don't like that. All that drama, I don't want no parts of that.
So you're not.
I don't
dating-
give that drama to nobody.
So you're not even gonna give it a chance to see.
I don't want to.
Just because.
I'm not saying I'm not going to. I'm just saying you gotta have a lot of other wonderful
I'm
characteristics
just saying,
and
but I'm
qualities.
saying though, but that's a disqualification.
Yeah, I don't really want to deal with people.
So
with
my
kids.
brother, if you got a child, you disqualified. Ain't that something?
I love kids though. Like, I really love kids. It's just sometimes I feel like domestic violence is very serious.
Okay.
In a lot of these situations, these women.
Well, how'd she get into domestic violence? Who talking about domestic violence? This is the scattered brain syndrome. Who said it? Why does domestic violence? These women act like every relationship that they've been in, somebody been bashing their head in. You would think every man you met, he just met you on site and bashed your head in. Like, come on now, what is every? And if that's the case, Lord, who are you attracting? They act like every man that they've come in contact, he just walked up on a boom, let them know what boom, this is what I'm about. Come on. And then y'all still giving babies. How did that come about? I'm just saying. Anyway, y'all, let's continue.
And men that don't know how to let go.
Hit the like button, you guys. Make sure we get the likes up. Get the likes up. It's definitely going to help the channel. Make sure you go ahead and hit the like button if you haven't hit it already. Go ahead and hit that like button. Let's continue.
And they feel like the baby mom or the baby dad is supposed to be with them forever. I can't insert myself into a type of chaos like that because I don't bring that chaos to nobody.
Well,
I don't have that type of drama going on.
I'll tell you what, because that's from a female perspective.
Yeah.
From the male perspective, I've heard a lot of times, even through social media, it's a lot of guys that they don't want to date women with kids.
correct.
Yeah.
Because they feel
Now,
like,
what's that reasoning?
Well, I'm saying, but they feel like, why should I invest into that situation when
Yeah.
it's not
Mine.
child?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I understand what you're saying.
That's
You're
not a
saying
man,
drama.
Well, let me pick it back on that.
Yeah,
That's not a
break
man.
it down.
You heard that? She said that's not a man. What? So you're not a man if you don't want to accept to date a single, see, this is where it's a problem. It's a problem. So if you are if you're not a man, if you choose not to date a single mother, but nobody said she wasn't a woman when she decided that she didn't want to date men, single fathers. So that there doesn't make any sense. So he's not a man. He's diminished when he says, I don't want to date single mothers, but her explanation for her not wanting to date a man with children is validated, and it's okay. Nobody diminished her. Nobody told her she was less than or she wasn't a woman because that's her preference. But when a man, this is why I say this is the one-sided deal that doesn't compute. It doesn't make any sense. So a man can't have a preference, but you can have that same preference. You have children, but you don't want to date a man with children. But when a man who says, I don't want to, may have a child and say, he might have a child, he may not. There are lots of men who don't have children and don't want a single mother, and they're being diminished and they're being put down because they don't want a ready-made family. They want to make their own. There are a lot of men who don't have kids and want a woman who doesn't have kids, and they're being they're treated as less than. So how do you explain that? This is crazy, and I hear this all the time. But baby, let's continue.
From me.
Okay, so this is
because you're saying, so you know.
Yeah. So okay, and the men that don't date women with kids, I understand where they're coming from, because no man want to play Mr. Cleanup guy, right? Especially if it's a productive, competitive man. Why should he come in that situation to clean up that situation?
Why not?
Nah, I don't agree with it.
I get that you're saying you don't agree, but I'm saying why not?
So, dating single moms, right? Let me rephrase that. Dating single modern women, this is 3 questions that I will ask them. What is it that you can offer me that you haven't given to another man?
Oh my goodness.
This is what I said. What can you offer me that you haven't given to another man? And the reason why I'm saying that, because 1, you shared your youth, your fertility, and your womb with another man. You shared your womb. You gave another man the biggest honor that you can give him, right? And my second question to that woman would be like, why didn't it work out with the father of the kid that, you know what I'm saying, that you had a kid with, or whatever. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Because you created this family. So why should I give up my resources to take care of your kids, right? Because men, we're very territorial, right? Because 1, I have to share you with your kids. That is not mine. And also I have to share you with the father of your kids. Who is to know what time the father of your kids is on? Because as of late, I've been seeing men been killing other men because they're dealing with their exes. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I don't know if that man may want to cause some harm to me.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I understand everything when men are saying, I don't want to date single mothers with kids or whatever. You get my point?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I get his point. It's the same point she made, that she doesn't want any drama with the baby mothers and all of that. She don't know same point she made. Basically, he's saying the same thing. Look, I don't know what type of time that man is on, or those kids' fathers. And then if it's more than one baby daddy, like, he don't want to have to deal with that. He don't know if that man is jealous or still want to be in a relationship with the woman. It might cause some type of trauma or drama with him. And he doesn't want to have to deal with that. Same thing she said. She don't want the drama. He doesn't want it either. But what makes that different? What's the difference between a man saying that and women saying it? You know, and I just don't understand. But see, I do understand why women have a problem with it, because it alienates them from the man that they might want. The man that they might want is not, the productive man making all this money that they want and have all his stuff together. It's probably not going, even if he has a child, even if he has children, he might not want to deal with her and her children. And you could say, oh, that's selfish, but this is how women think too. So they're on the even playing field, right? Equality, right? So if a woman with kids could say she don't want a man with kids, a man could say the same thing. And then he's the prize, in my opinion, because he's the type of man that all these women want. So he make the rules. He set the tone for what it is that he wanted. You could either accept it or reject it because he has other women who's after him. So a lot of these women want the same type of guy. So he has the power. So he can choose who he wants. He has options, right? So the ball is not in the court of the women. The women have to adhere to what these men want if that's the man that you will say you want. So they don't have the leverage. The men do. So my thing is this: it's definitely one-sided when a man says his preference or what it is he wants because the women can't benefit from it. That's my point. The women who are single mothers don't have any leverage. And the reason why they try to shame these men is because they know they don't have the leverage. It knocks them out of the dating pool. It automatically, in most cases, eliminate them from dating the type of guy that they would be interested in. Because if he's saying, look, man, you got too many kids. I don't want to deal with you or your baby daddies. I don't want no one with all these kids. Then there's nothing you could do about it. So the only thing that their only, I guess, defense or would be to try to shame the men, to try to make them feel bad, so they could think about it and be like, okay, well, so they could change their minds and so that they can start to think about it and not feel shamed and start to feel like, oh, maybe I could date a baby mother. The shaming tactics are done to change the mind of the men who originally said they wouldn't date single mothers. That's what it is. You can't do anything but make them feel a certain kind of, try to insult them to make them question their original options. You know what I'm saying? Like make them think about it and make them feel shame and make it seem like something's wrong with them for not wanting to date single mothers. That's what the shaming tactics are for. That's why they do it. And then so you can question whether it's okay for you to date a single mother or not. But a lot of these men are like, hell no, you can say whatever you want. A lot of these men aren't. This is why I say women have been getting over on men for so long. And now that men are speaking out and men are saying, are very strong in their what they want, these women don't know what to do with that because a lot of these women have dealt with weak-minded men, I'm just saying, who would fall for their foolishness and treat them, try to give them the world and do all these things and they just mess over them. Now men are not doing that. This is where the sassy this comes in. This is why they're calling them sassy, because they're speaking up for themselves. They're saying we won't tolerate this, we won't do this, we want this, we want reciprocation, we want a woman who's going to show interest too. We're not just going out here like a fool and giving you everything that you want while you just show us, while you continue to show them that they're not really worth much to you. You just want them to give, and you're not giving anything in return. See, now that men aren't doing that, now they're sassy. Now they're this, they're that, and the third, but because they're not getting their way. And it's about time. It's about time because women like I said, social media and in real life, I know women who've definitely messed over some good men. Cheated on them, talked about them like a dog, didn't even really care about them, didn't even like them. This is what they tell their girlfriends. How stupid he is and how this and that and the third. Like they really don't be having good things to say about these men and then get in the man face and smile and act like you like him and knowing good and well you don't like him. You just getting money out of him and brag to their girlfriends about how they're mistreating this man and how they're getting over on him. See, this is what the sister code is all about, which I'm not really into that because I'm not into defending anybody who continues to just do dirt. And I know you're doing it. No, I'm not defending that. I'm not defending anybody who is blatantly lying or you in my presence and I know you and I know what you're about. I can't defend that. And that's why I'm not with this whole sister code because all that means is to me, all that means is you're willing to just go with the women no matter what they do, no matter how reckless they are, no matter how they lie, no matter how they manipulate. So if you do that, you're a part of that. And if I'm not a part of that, I can't associate myself with people like that. You know what I mean? Now, if I don't know you and I don't know your business, I don't know your business. But if you're friends with me or so-called, or you're in my circle or whatever, now I can't deal with that. Like this can't, because I don't agree to that. I don't agree to women manipulating men and gold diggers and just using anybody. It's just doing that to anybody. I just don't think that that's right. That's just how I am. And I've always been that way. So I can't support that. You get what I'm saying? Nobody is perfect, but I mean, a lot of these women are doing things on purpose. Like they know what they're doing. They're not oblivious. They know they're out here. There are women who are out here to just take men. This is why I talk about money and the money aspect, because I know there are a lot of gold digging women out here. They only after you if you got money. They don't really like you like that. They only after your coins. And they'll pretend. Y'all talk about chameleons. Lord, there's a lot of them. They'll pretend to like you and, give you a little loving here and there and have your head spinning and you thinking this woman in love with you, and she is not. She's in love with your wallet. You got some money and you spending it on her. That's all she wants. This is why I say if you lead with your wallet, then you're going to attract nothing but gold diggers. You're going to attract the women who are out for your money. Because a woman who's really interested in you is not really focused on your money. She's not focused on how much money you got, where you work, what kind of car you drive. A woman who's into you don't care about all of that like that. Now, of course, I mean, she's if she got some sense, if she wants to make sure she's dealing with somebody who's stable, somebody who's, can provide and goes to work, not somebody just sitting back lazy, not doing nothing, of course. But she's not so focused on how much money you make, what kind of car you drive, what you do, all of this, and you got to be a certain because that should be triple red flags to any man when a woman is so focused on that. This is why I talk about it, because I know too many women who are just out here just strictly looking for men to take care of them. And that's what a lot of men are seeing now. This is not new. Women have been doing this. People talk about, back in the day, there is a difference. It's just that a lot of the foolery wasn't uncovered like it is now. Like a lot of social media has brought out the foolishness of these women. It's allowed them to expose themselves. So men are seeing the actual nature of men, which back then a lot of men were not privy to that. Like a lot of men didn't know the full nature of women because women were chameleons. They were sitting there lying to these men and leading these men on while getting money from them, and didn't realize what was really happening in all the situations. But now men are privy to it, and this is why they're acting the way they are and moving the way they are. And this is why women are upset, because now the jig is up. You've been exposed. So now you can't use these men like you were doing in the past, because now they're wiser. And this is why women say, these men are different. Yeah, the hell they are, because they're smart. They get what I don't think that they were dumb then. I just think that they weren't aware. And this is why I find it strange, because there are some men who still don't get it. They still think, and I'll say this, look, we don't all get it at the same time. People learn things when they get it, but some men still believe that these women are innocent and that they're just out here just really trying to look for love. You hear these women telling you, oh my God, they're not out here for love. They're trying to get to the bag and they want you to provide it. What? Unless you want to be a bag giver, unless that's all you want to be to a woman, you want to just be a bag giver and you happy with that in hopes of getting a little coochie here and there. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's not nothing long lasting. If you're a type of man who got that money and you on that type of time and you really don't care and you really just want to, pay for a time with a beautiful woman, then okay, that's your thing. I ain't mad at it, but at least you're aware of what you're doing, because there are men out there like that who just want to pay to hang around a beautiful woman or maybe get some loving from her or whatever here and there, and they pay for it. Well, okay, that's a business. We know what that is. But if you're really looking for something serious, I always say, don't lead with your wallet. Don't do that, because once you do that, that woman's eyes get big and she going to tell her girlfriends, girl, I got a winner. Girl, I got one. That's what they saying behind your back. I got one, girl. He going to give me everything that I want. Girl, he's stupid. This is how they talk, and this is why I say women with this girl code or whatever, I'm not supposed to be saying this. I'm not supposed to say how women think and how women act. That's supposed to be on the hush hush, on the low low, that's supposed to be something that only women know and not men, but they've already exposed themselves. So I'm not exposing anything, because y'all have already exposed your hand. Men are already hip to this type of foolishness. So that's why I say you got to be very cautious as a man out here dating, because these women will fool the hell out of you. And so that's why men are cautious because of that. Is it Torion? Thank you for the super chat. Says Gilbert Arenas, NBA star. What can you give me? I can't outsource. What can you give me that I can't outsource myself? Right. Exactly. Thank you for the super chat. I hope I said your name right. Thank you. I appreciate you. What can you give me that I can't outsource myself? And that's and see, and thank you once again for the super chat. That's the question they don't want to hear, along with what do you bring to the table? Because they don't have an answer for that. They're just going to get mad because there's nothing, that you can really give the man, or they don't really know what it is that they can give him because they're so focused on what he can give them. Especially somebody who's rich, you just expect him to just shower you with everything and you don't have to bring anything to the table. That's why that question to this day, what do you bring to the table, is so offensive to those types of women, because they don't have anything. And the only thing that was their leverage for years and years was the vagina. That was the only leverage they had. And now men are saying, we're not really caring about that because that have been ran through. And we don't really trust that type of a JJ. So we don't really want that. You gotta bring something more because I don't trust that. So now they like shaking in their boots, like, oh shit, what are we gonna do now? They don't really care about the vagina like that. I got 3 kids and 3 baby daddies. And now he don't really trust that. What am I? I don't know what else. You don't have nothing else. So there you go with that. Marriage, politics, and sports. What's going on? Thank you for the super chat. Says the first lady, when she had one child, was not really a single mom if the father had the kid half the time and her father had the kid on the weekends. That first child was not a typical fatherless child. Gotcha. I got what you're saying. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Let's see. So, I want to read this. Successful MD, thank you for the super chat. Says the whole time she's an undercover street walker. Oh my God. Thank you for the super chat. Successful MD. Yeah, it's all over the place. All over the place. I forgot what I was saying, but let's get back into the video. Here we go.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
So what's the third question?
So, and let me
Yeah, I was
ask you
waiting
this
for the
question,
third
bro.
one.
If you went to the store, would you buy a product? Would you buy a product that had a broken seal?
No, I'm not gonna.
You wouldn't. Why you wouldn't buy a product that had a broken
Somebody,
seal?
because it's already been. I don't know what's in there.
It's the same thing. That's the reason why men
So-
say they don't want to date women with kids, because you already have been tainted. You already shared your wound
Well, yeah.
with another man. So
But are you serious right now?
yes, I'm being very serious.
So okay,
I'm being very
so
serious.
to be a counter to that, because that is absolute. I'm gonna keep
Go
it a
ahead.
buck. That's some bullshit, and
I don't
I'm
think so.
going. That's some motherfucking bullshit. Yes, it is.
Go ahead.
Because I'm gonna say it is because you just said your first question was, well, I'm gonna ask a woman, what can she get? What can you give a woman that you ain't give to another female?
Okay. All right. Okay.
What can you? But no,
Okay,
no,
let me
no,
ask you the
no,
question.
no, no.
Okay, go ahead, Vic, go
What
ahead.
can you give another female that you haven't? What can you give this woman that you haven't given to another female? Why does it have to be that a woman have to bring you something? I'm not. Who the fuck are you that I gotta bring you something?
Okay.
What are you bringing to me?
Okay.
It goes both ways. I thought. Now that's one. Now two, you're saying, well, you don't know what that circumstance could be, what that situation could be. So are you speaking from a standpoint of a man who does not have kids just yet?
Both.
Or
Single?
you can't speak from both. And the reason I'm gonna say you can't is because just as you're a man, if you are a man that has children, to say that to a woman that has children, it almost sounds, no, not almost, it's narcissistic as hell. Because if you've given another woman kids, who are you to ask a woman what you got to offer me because you gave a nigga kids? Did you not give another woman kids? So what happened with that family that you were building? Why?
Yeah, but ma'am, the part that you're missing is you still expect certain things from that man. And when he comes into your life, he has to come in your life with the expectation is that he can take care of you and your kids. See, if he has kids, his kids are with their mother, right? So their mothers are he's responsible for taking care of his kids. But normally most times the kids are with the mother, right? But he's still responsible to take care of his kids. And if you have children, you're expecting him to come in and provide a certain lifestyle for you and your kids. That's not a minor thing. That's a major thing. So he's coming in, taking on an extra load. It's not just you. Because these women who becomes a part of the man's life, they don't have to come. They don't come into the relationship with the men aren't expecting the woman to take care of his kids because they have a mother who's doing it and he's taking care of them. But when it's the woman with the kids, he's expected to come in and provide for you, your kids. Holidays, he's going to take care of you, get gifts for your kids. He got to be responsible for all y'all. The package deal that they always talk about. So that is the difference. Women, it's like you're blind. You don't see that this is a major responsibility for any man coming into your life. And that's not his kids. So it takes a lot for him to have to come in, get to know your kids, have to deal with if the kids don't like him because they already have a father, have to deal with the repercussions of not being the real dad, being the stepdad, which we know these kids tend to say, oh, you're not my dad. They usually get that. So I don't think women fully understand the responsibility of a man when he takes on a woman with children, especially if he already has his own children. So that's extra that he has to provide for, not only just his, but yours too. And the way these women are, they expect you to come in and pay all the bills, do everything. So that is a major responsibility. I don't understand why they don't see that. And I think they do see it, but they don't want to see it because you just want the man to come in and do it. That's it. Divine Photos, thank you for the super chat, says the issue I see with some single moms, they want to move as if they don't have kids. Plus, they think their standards are on par with childless women. Exactly. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you, Divine Photos. Exactly. They really, they don't see it. They think they have leverage. And to me, it's insanity to think that as a single mother, you have leverage. You think that that you can demand all of this from a man when you're not in a position to do that. Because most men, when you come with these demands and these unrealistic expectations, and you got children and all this, that man could easily move on because he doesn't have to deal with that. And this is why a lot of these women find themselves single and they can't find the man they want because these men don't want to deal with that. And they shouldn't have to. Just as she has a preference, she can sit there and say, I have kids, but I don't want a man with kids. Why is it such pushback when a man says the exact same thing? Thanks once again for the super chat, Divine Photos. I appreciate you. It's just insane to me. Quick 504, what's going on? Thank you for the super chat. Says, would you rather an unopened can of Coke or an open can of flat Coke? You are unsure who drank from it. You already know the answer to that. Come on now. And they know it too. They're just trying to, this their last, ditch effort to try to force men into accepting them because they know they're losing the battle. Baby, it's crazy. We know the answer to that question. We don't want nobody don't want no open can of Coke that's flat and don't know who drank from it. Hell no. Hell. If somebody bring me a drink that's already open, baby, I ain't drinking it. I don't know. I don't trust that. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Let's get back into it, y'all.
Why did that not work out?
Okay, so can I answer your question?
Sure.
Okay, one, Vic, it's a double standard. Unfortunately, men can do it. You can. A woman cannot do what a man do. And two,
no. Yes, we can.
Okay, but let me say this.
No, you can't.
I know the detractors and the critics going to come for me because I have kids. One, my kids are grown. I have a 23-year-old.
But at one point they weren't.
But let me answer the question. I'll let you talk. Let me talk.
You're right.
I have two girls. I have a 23-year-old and I have a 20-year-old. My oldest daughter has recently graduated from college on her way to grad school.
Yes, Lord.
My second daughter, she'll be graduating from college pretty soon, right? Secondly, I've never been married. So what I can offer a woman is marriage. That's the biggest honor. Listen, hold up. That's the biggest honor a man can give a woman is marriage. Yes, that is the biggest offer I can offer a woman is marriage. Because you know why? Can't no woman ever said that I was married to them. So that would give that other woman bragging rights that I've given you the biggest honor by marrying you. You're not just my baby mama, but you're my wife. And you can research my name. You will not see my name logged on any marriage license in all 50 states of America. Yes, and that's what it is. I'm bringing marriage and I'm bringing my resources to you. That's what I'm bringing. Resources and marriage. And I have receipts because I am successful. When my kids were born, I always had custody of my kids and I have receipts. And my kids' success shows it. So I know what I'm talking about.
Shout out to him, you know what I mean, for raising his kids. Kids are doing well. And, and he has a point there, but she snickers at that. And this is what I'm saying. A lot of these women don't think that they don't look at marriage as an importance. That's why they've never been married, because they don't see it as an importance and they never required it. But it's something that they want at some point. And a lot of these women just want to be married just to say they've been married, so they could say, "Oh, I've had an ex-husband, I've been married," and you know, whatever. It's like they don't understand the importance of that. And he's right. To me, that's one of the biggest honors, the biggest honor that a man could give you, to honor you and want to take you on as his wife and honor you in that sense. A lot of these women like to downplay that, but it's something that they never had, and they wish they could have, wish they had a man that would look at them in a way, or look at them as somebody that could be their wife. That's an honor for a man to take you on as his wife, but they try to downplay it because they know they'll never get it. And usually, in most cases, a lot of these single mothers know that no man is ever going to really take them seriously enough to marry them. You know, and a lot of them know. And so if you can't have it, you gotta, you know, make it seem like it's not a big deal. You know, when you know you can't get it, it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? And that's how a lot of women think. They've never seen the importance of it. They've never really thought that they would get it. But eventually it's something that they aspire to have. They would love for a man to propose to them and to marry them because they would feel special, but they've never had it. So if you despise the thing that you can't get, despise something that you never had it, or if you don't think you can get it. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue.
Ralph, do you have something to add?
Go ahead.
Well, no. Well, okay.
You're not a single parent, so it's a little bit more harder.
No, I'm not a single parent, but I grew up in a single household.
Right.
So I grew up without a father. I've always wanted a father,
Right.
whether mine's or not, whether like blood or not. So I always wish that I had somebody to kind of like lace me up, guide me, because you know we bump our heads a lot. So
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from, what you're saying, because you're like, and I get the whole thing. It's not my child. Why should I invest my time? But I'm saying, like, for me, because I wanted that, so I can understand from both. But I wanted that. That's not something I would. If I meet a woman with children, that's not a deal breaker for me.
Right.
Because when I was in high school, I was dating a girl that was out of high school with kids.
Right.
So she had one child, a son. But I love kids though. So to me, it's not like, I don't look at it like I'm wasting my time or because I always hear people say, well, if I date a woman with children, one day her children is going to denounce me and say, you're not my father.
Yeah.
But for me, I always look at it this way. It's a rite of passage.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day,
Yep.
if we're bickering and I'm trying to give you the right things to do, the right thing to say, the only way for you to hurt me or to make me feel little is by you to say, well, you're not my dad, you can't tell me what to do. And I call it a rite of passage.
Yeah.
That wouldn't bother me. But again, I'm speaking from me not having a dad.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something that I always wish I had.
Right.
So to me, that's not really a deal breaker. But I'm not speaking for all men. I'm only speaking for myself.
Right. And
I
also,
wouldn't rock. I wouldn't do
Right.
that. You know what I mean?
And I can respect his opinion and how he feels, but so many women don't respect the preferences that men have. If a man says he's okay with that, he's okay with that. That's his choice. If that's what he's okay with, that's fine. But don't belittle or shame the men who has a different perspective or a different have different standards. And that's the problem. A lot of these women disrespect men who say they don't want to deal with single mothers. If you want a man to respect your preference, you have to respect theirs. Everybody is not the same. Everybody's not going to, want the same things or expect the same things or have the same standards. So we got to respect each other. If a man, just because it's not what you want, you still need to respect that man's preference and his standards as much as you want him to respect your standards and your preference. And too many women are disrespecting men and shaming men for their preference, and it's just ridiculous. Detorian says a 304 uses marriage as a long con. Wow. A 304 uses marriage as a long con. Interesting. Thank you for the super chat. That's interesting. Flex Spec says men don't ask women if they can cook because men can't cook for themselves. It's a way of operationalizing shared responsibilities, highlighting the importance of preparing nutritious meals and fostering a balanced relationship. It's a deep question. Thank you for that super chat. I appreciate you. Sergio, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Huddy says men are not looking for stepmom for his kids. Right. They're not looking for stepmoms for their kids. Thank you for the super chat. Marriage Politics and Sports says my man came back on her BS with receipts. If he did not get her on the marriage, he got her with the resources. Gotcha. And yeah, for sure. Thank you once again for the super chat. Competitive says the paradigm shift is here. It is. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Competitive. Let's continue, y'all.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just like you said, bro, it's not that it's a deal breaker, but me, just how I think if a man is going to be dating a single modern mother, that single modern woman is going to have to go above and beyond to show herself approved to that man. Because why would that man select you when he could go out there and select a much younger woman that is childless? That's not going to bring the chaos to him. Because like I said earlier today, who is to say what time the father of your kids is on? You get where I'm coming
So
from?
you're looking
Right,
at
but that's
safety.
only one. That's
correct.
only one perspective that is a very important
Very
perspective, of course. But it's only one. So like even when you say me being okay, I'm gonna take myself. Me being someone I didn't grow up with my father.
Okay.
I would hate if my mother had met men with that mindset that you just described, because the men that my mother, and it wasn't a lot of men or whatever, but like my stepfather came along when I was like in 4th grade. I thank God for him every day. You understand? Like my father wasn't present in my life. He stepped in and he did what no other man did all the way through till I was all the way in college. They didn't get divorced until years later. And that man saved my life in so many ways. He was and we did have fights. I mean, like teenagers, kids, you got kids, kids say, your kids say crazy stuff to you. So just imagine what they're going to say to a stranger in the midst of being upset.
It's like I said, dog, like for me.
But sorry, not to cut you
No,
off.
no,
So I'm
no,
just
no.
saying, thank God for him, because I tell him all the time, if I had, my father's out of prison now. If I get married, both of them have to walk me down the aisle because he really raised me.
Yeah.
So that thought process to me is just mind blowing and it's insane. The reason I don't want to date people with kids.
Now, before she finished, now think about that, right? So, and I just wanted to get y'all thoughts on it. So she's saying her biological father was in prison. So he's out of prison now, right? But the man who took care of her and helped raise her as her father, think about it now. He still has to share the spotlight with her biological father who was in prison. So she thanks God for this man stepping in to that role and taking on that father role and raising her and taking care of her, being there when the biological father was not there. He was in prison. Now that's her biological father, but think about that. The man who took on that role, raised her, took care of her, like she's giving props to him. He still has to share the spotlight with her father who was in prison, who was not there, who was not there for her. Don't you think that in some way that stepfather would feel some type of way? He may not say it, right? He does, but don't you see that biology still has a part to play and comes in? She's still going to honor him, the biological father who was not there. So both of them have to be there, and in her, you will be there for her. You know what I'm saying? Even when he do y'all let me know in the chat, do y'all think that that's fair? Is that fair? So he's still gonna have to be in competition with the biological father who was not there for her. So he still gets a part of her, and even though he wasn't there, I would think that as a man who took on that role, I would still feel some type of way by that. I'm just saying. I would feel some type of way if I was there and he wasn't, and he's been in prison and he gets to get out, and he still gets, because he's her biological father, he still gets a part of her even though he wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I feel like I think I would have an issue with it. I think I would, to be, and I, I'm saying, if I was a man, I think I would feel a little slighted. I really would, because he gets to come out and still be there on the flip side while he was there. Because to me, once you're grown, you're responsible for yourself. But as a child, that's when you need the parents. That's when it's most difficult, in my opinion, when you're raising these children when they're little, when they're young. But to come on after the fact when they're grown and now you get to still be a part, to me that's a little unfair in my opinion. Let me see what y'all saying. Successful MD says they see Pookies as top notch and then want good men to come be Boo Boo the Fool and Rescue Ranger. Exactly. They definitely want them to come in and be the, the savior of the day, savior of their lives. Come in and just you play around with Pookies, and then the good man got to come in and be the fool and take care of you on the flip side. Thank you for the super chat, Successful MD. I don't know how to pronounce Black. What is it? Black Unity? Black Unity. I think that's how you pronounce it. Says she's telling how much she would respect her future husband with that comment about her stepfather, not a wife. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Sir Joe says, so I'm supposed to take the leftovers of what someone else got with little to no effort. Tyrone and Willie only gave you a blunt and some Hennessy, and you open your legs, baby. Yeah. Thank you for the super chat, Sir Joe. That's what they expect, baby. That's what they expect. Thank you once again for that. That's what they expect. They don't see it the way men see it. That's the thing. James Hatchett says, stepdaddy to 6, don't do it. None of them reached out to this day. Don't do it, guys. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you, James. This is why I say women don't understand how men think. And then when you tell them, they don't want to hear it. I'm just trying to make sure I got all the super chats. They don't want to hear it. They don't see the male perspective. They only see their perspective and they think that they're right. Let's continue.
Kids, I don't concern myself with what the kids may or may not say, because what you give a kid is what they're going to give you back. And once they get to that age of teenage, we know teenagers, so that's not even something to take personal. I'm expecting you to say it, because if you don't say it, I think something ain't right. Because that's what kids are going to say.
But some kids won't say it.
Yeah.
But again, if you do say it, it's like, to me, it's like,
it's a hit or miss.
It's like, I'm going to laugh at you like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I like, my advice on this, man, is not going to, because I say, I can't.
You're not a
I can't say you wrong. I can't say you right. I can't say. All I'm saying is, for me, I'm black, bro. So I only know how to be black.
Right.
And all I'm saying is, a lot of us, we grew up fatherless.
Yeah.
And I think it's because we always talk about back in the days and stuff like that. I think a lot of times, man, the difference with why back in the days was probably a lot better than today is because a man, when he meets a woman, he didn't care how many kids she had.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If he loved that woman, like that woman, it was all in.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's the problem. And I think that's the difference between back then and now. A lot of men recognize that was an issue. See, yeah, he's right with that. Look, I had a stepdad, but the relationship between my mother and that stepdad, the relationships always end. It's not like they got married and they will stay together to the end. They end up not being together. That's the problem. A lot of those men realized that it wasn't a benefit to them in any way by doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because the women still were unhappy. The relationships didn't work out. I could see if the man took on a woman, a single mother, and the relationship flourished and it was it worked out and they were a family and the kids respected the man and they grew up and saying, this is my father. He was there with me from the beginning and this is who was my dad and to hell with anybody else, and the relationship worked out and it flourished. But a lot of times those relationships don't work out. It never was a benefit to the man in no way, shape or form. The woman still ended up leaving him, talked shit about him and moved on. You know what I'm saying? It's with another man. So now you got one stepdaddy. It was not one, and it's another stepdaddy, or just other men running through. So they don't never really work out. Those relationships don't ever really work out. Competitives says, as a father, I let him walk her down the aisle if he did a bang up job. All right. Well, I respect that. Thank you for the super chat, competitive. Let's continue.
But it's different time, different
But
mindset.
can I piggyback off what you said?
Let me finish. I'm gonna let you rock.
Go ahead.
Now, so I can only go off my experience. Like I said, I always wanted a dad. Never had one, but now I get to play one. So I get to be one. It's
Yeah,
the
I was
most
about to say you get to
important.
be one.
Yeah, I get to be,
Yeah.
and I love being a dad. And to me, I don't look at a kid like that's mine or not mine. You know what I'm saying? I look at it like you a child, and you're with me. You're my child, no matter what. So, and I.
But also, and I have to say, I respect what he's saying, and I think a lot of men who decide to go into those relationships with those women and those kids think like that. They're not looking at the child as, oh, they going into it, okay, if I'm going to accept the woman, I'm going to accept her child, and I'm going to love them both. But it's the women. See, this is why I say it's the women who distinguish the difference, and the women who end up telling the kids when they get mad with the guy. Oh, this is when that comes out. It's the women who will do you dirty. It's the women who tell the children that ain't your real daddy, so you ain't got to listen to him. Or if he say something that she doesn't like, it's the women who separated, who tell the children these things. It's usually the men aren't the ones who think like that. It's the women who end up making these kids think differently, who tell these kids, well, you don't have to listen. Let her get mad. The truth will come out. It's the women who usually separate the kids from the fathers or the stepfathers and tell them things about him, that make the child think a certain way. This is why do you think the children will come out and say, well, you ain't my daddy? Why? Because a lot of these women are the ones who put that in the child. Who tell them, oh, you ain't got to really listen to him. Or if he tell you something, come tell me. Tell me what he said. Or he can't talk to you like this. Or he can't discipline you. It's the women who do that. Who put that in them children's heads. Usually the men think like that. If they take on you and the child, they're not thinking, they're like, okay, this is going to be my child now. And this is why I say it's difficult when the biological fathers who have never been in the child's life try to come back in. Now you're disturbing the household. You're disturbing the family that this man is taking care of. That's why it's a sticky situation when it comes to a man taking on women with multiple baby daddies and all of this, because what's your place in all of that? A lot of times the biological fathers are going to take precedence over you, and you're the one taking care of the household. And I think women have a lot to play with that, because these women, it's just something that is sometimes it's a bit too much to try to take on. I'm just saying, but let's continue.
I know it's gonna come a time, right? You're gonna go, oh, you're not my father, and I'm okay with that. I'm cool. You're right. I'm not your dad, but I am your dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not your dad, but I am your dad, and I could take whatever comes along.
And
with that.
as a kid that been there, I can tell you, we say that in that moment because we're upset, we're teenagers, we're young, our mind isn't fully formed. But I promise you, we come back and that apology is 10 freaking fold because we.
But you say it, see, then that's the thing. She's acknowledging, and that's why I said that's what they're gonna say. It's gonna come up, and I don't think any man who's been there as the father taking care of his family want to hear that. That's gut wrenching to any man that's been there and taking care of you as his own. That's heartbreaking in a sense for him to have to hear you say, you ain't my real dad. Like that's not a good thing. And I think only men who had to experience that know how that feels. If you haven't experienced that, then you can't fully say how you would feel about it until it happens to you. To hear that, I'm pretty sure that's not a good feeling. RC says it's not natural for a man to want to raise a woman's bastard children. The black women have turned her back on the black man, and the men are tired. I agree with you. Thank you for the super chat, RC. I 100% agree. It's not a natural thing, and so yeah, men in the past have done it, but these men are not trying to do that because they see how it turned out, and it didn't turn out to be a good situation. You know what I mean? And I think there are a few cases, of course, where men have become stepdads and the children love them and they haven't had that, but the majority of them have not turned out to be great. I'm just saying. Let's continue.
Understand, but as a kid, you can't expect kids to understand.
But also, let me say this. Let me piggyback off what you said, because you mentioned
You're talking about the time.
Yeah, the time.
Yeah.
See, you have to understand. In those times, women used to honor men. When a man came in and took over a family, that woman gave that man praise. Just honor, because in today's time that we're living in, being a stepfather is like basically being down, you know what I'm saying, being down talked upon, right? Because matter of fact, I see it all the time where modern single mothers will be like, oh, a man have to bring A, B, and C and D to me. But this man that you created this family with didn't even have to pay didn't have to pay that premium price.
But who's to say that?
No, it's going on. It's omnipresent. So why does this man, who is competitive, productive, has to come in and share his resources with you? For prime example, so if we do the Brady Bunch thing, right? If this woman have her kids, I have my kids, and we merge our family together, right? So every $100 that I spend within that household, 40% is going to go to your kids, 60% is going to go to my kids. So basically, I'm taking resources away from my biological kids to give it to your kids. Who is to say if those kids are going to appreciate me for what I'm doing for them, for being present, for being a father figure to them, right? At least I know if I have my own kids, my own biological kids, as long as I'm showing up for them, I'm taking care of them, I'm mentally present for my kids, at least I know when I become an old man one day, my kids are going to take care of me. I don't have to worry about my kids telling me, oh, you ain't my daddy. Why do I have to listen to you? And also, too, with bringing two families together, my kids may follow a certain set of rules. Your kids may follow certain set of rules. So my kids could be like, Daddy, why they do such and such and such? Why can they do this? And because you have a set of rules from your kids, they're gonna be like, damn, why can they do this and why can't I do that?
You're saying the mindsets could be
Yeah,
different.
it can be completely different. So that could confuse the kid. You get what I'm? You get what
I understand what
this
you're
is-
saying.
no.
I get what you're saying.
Stop
The
saying you
mindset.
understand.
No. What I'm
Yeah,
saying is
you
that
get what
no.
Stupid.
Listen, this is
This
not.
is pure
It's not.
stupidity.
It's
But
logic.
what I'm saying, I
No,
understand
it's
is,
not.
what-
It's stupidity.
No.
It's basically taking every reason you can think of in the book for why it wouldn't work. When you meet somebody and you're engaged with that person and you like that person, in the beginning, yes, it may be a conflict of how you parent, how I parent. It's gonna even if you didn't have kids, it's gonna happen. If I meet you and I start talking to you, how you live your life and how I live my life may be two completely different things. Over time, we mesh. Over time, you blend. That's
No, over time, when you meet a person, say if that person doesn't, she said if there weren't kids, if kids weren't involved. No, if kids are not involved, that's where you build together. That's where you take your differences. If you're interested in each other and you want to make it work, then you get involved and you get married. Just say that's where you talk about, you communicate your differences and you make it work. You talk to each other, you learn each other, and you bring that together and you build up on that. But if you already have kids and you've already had relationships with other men and you made kids with those men and you're not with them, then you've established a certain way that you want to raise your kids. You have certain ways you teach your kids, certain ways you run your household by yourself. So now when you bring a man in who either doesn't have kids or whatever, coming into that, you've already established how you want your household to run. Your kids are already used to the way they live and how you run your household. When the man comes in, he might want to establish or have certain ways that he wants to run the household and establish certain values or things that he wants to instill in on there. And that's where the conflict comes in, because most women, whether they want to accept it or not, you don't want to hear what he has to say. You don't want him to come in and change the dynamics of what you've already created. That's where the problems and the division comes in, because he can't come in there and establish the household the way he wants to, because you feel like the way you run it is how you want it to be, and that's what your kids are used to. So now this man coming in and now he wants to change things up, and those kids don't always just fall in line. They don't want to hear or listen to him because they think you're the authority figure in their lives and you've been there and that's it. So it's gonna be conflict. If he comes in and try to change things up or have a different opinion or a different standard, it's going to be a problem. This is not anything new. This is why the stepdaddy situation didn't work in the past. And men see that. So they don't want to have to deal with that or go through that, because they know the outcome is not in their favor. It's not in their favor. And so these women act like they don't get it. But until when you get in that situation, then that's when you see, oh my God, this is not what I want. This is too much. This is too much. So we're gonna continue, y'all, and then we're gonna move on to something else. Calvin says in the autobiography of Malcolm X book, Malcolm talked about after his dad's murder, his mom met another man that looked very similar to his dad. One day he stopped coming around because she had 7 kids. Wow. Right. I mean, look, children, that amount of kids is a lot of responsibility. And on top of that, if they're not your kids, you didn't create those kids, that's a lot to have to deal with. Thank you so much for the super chat, Calvin. I appreciate you. Let's go ahead and continue with this, y'all, and then we gonna move on. Here we go.
Pure stupidity. And guess what? If it comes to the point where you guys can't agree on things, it would never even get to the point that you even have to concern yourself with blended families. Because as women, mothers, I can't speak for all mothers, but I could say, I'm not going to deal with no man that don't mesh or blend well with my kids. And that doesn't mean I'm putting my kids before you. That just means as I analyze this situation that we're in, if it's not going to work, it wouldn't get to that point where we even have to go to that. But there are situations where you will blend just fine. That means that that's for you. I have a favorite phrase I like to use. I use it all the time when I'm referring to just myself, when I'm referring to dating. And I say it all the time. People need to learn their lanes. When you know your lane, you're not confused. When you're dating people that are in your... I'm in the far left lane, probably about 90% of the time. And it's quite often that I get guys that are in the far right lane, you know, that slow lane, and somehow they made their way over to mine. And I don't understand how they got there or why they're there, but they're there. So I have to redirect them because I know just off a conversation, just off of one conversation could let me know. And I have to redirect you and say, hey, this just isn't your lane. I'm not sure how you got here, but I want to redirect you very respectfully. So I say that to say, again, it depends on you as a person, because if you meet like-minded people, right, then the likelihood that it would be just so chaotic. What's the likelihood of that? What's the likelihood of it? You attract what you want,
Well, the likelihood is that if you are a single mother, the likelihood is that these men don't want you, bottom line. So these different lanes, she's right with that. If you're in a lane of a single mother, most men don't want single mothers, bottom line. And I don't think anybody should be mad about it. That's right. If you meet a woman and she's a single mother and you don't want single mothers, good. Thank you. Good night. Respect. No hard feelings, but I'm gonna keep it moving. That's that. That means he's not in your lane, baby. And I agree with her on that. You know, that you're not in the lane of most men. Most men who are productive and don't have kids, or even men who might have a child or two, still don't want single mothers. So that's it. So that you're right. And I agree with her on this. Look, when you have a conversation, if you see something that you like and y'all, you know, go on a date or whatever, the conversation you should start out with, hey, what are you looking for? Do you have any kids? What do you want? If they have kids and you're uncomfortable, boom. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Good night. Have a, nice meeting you, but I'm not in your lane. Keep it moving. That's just how it should be. Period. Successful MD says, with her attitude, blending is not an option. Right. Exactly. Thank you once again, Successful MD. So yeah, that's how it should be. You got kids. Okay, I'm not in your lane, ma'am. Thank you. Have a great night. That's it. Let's continue.
Like, you understand what I'm saying? And I'm only saying that just as, like I said, I had my daughter when I was 19. If you want to be honest, I had my daughter when I was 18 because she was born 3 days before my 19th birthday. And so I've been doing this single parent thing since I don't even know. I can't even tell you when it started. This is here we are. But I've never dated a person that didn't get it. I've never dated a person that I had to fight with you about what you give your kids, what I'm giving. That's stupidity right there.
All right, all right.
No, before you.
It's not stupidity. See, that's what I'm saying. Why it's not stupidity. If she's been a single mother since 19, some could argue that that's stupidity. I'm just saying. Some could argue that. A lot of women like to say they were young and they were dumb. So some would argue that that's stupidity, that you've been a single mother that long. And if you've met men who got it, then why aren't, you would think that you would get it. And a man, if you met men who got it, why didn't they, marry you and stay with y'all, stay together and raise, or why didn't the person who got you knocked up didn't get it and say, okay, let's get married and let's build this family. You know what I mean? But a lot of Black women, I will specify Black women in this case, don't see marriage as an importance. They don't. they have babies. This is what I've seen my whole life. The majority of women in my community were not married. But they had babies, and they had a lot of them. And so that was it. Marriage was never a thought because they didn't have parents, or they have a mother who their mothers weren't married. They never stressed the importance of marriage. So just like, oh, but you can have a baby. Babies are amazing. Babies are a blessing. So just have a baby. You don't have to be with the father of the child, because you can raise that child by yourself. You don't really need a man to raise your child. That was the idea. And seems, fast forward to now, 2024, that still is the idea. You don't need a man to raise a child. You don't need that child don't need a father in its life. You can do it all by yourself. But it's the very same thing that a lot of women are complaining about. And so I say that to say the majority of us were not taught how to be, that marriage was important, that we need a man, and a man has a significant value in your life, and if you're going to make children with that man, and in your child's life, they need a father. That was never something that they stressed because they didn't have it. Their mothers didn't have it. And so they thought, oh, we could just do this. We don't matter. We broke and poor and we doing it struggling. If the child don't have what they need, it's all good. We raised them the best we could. And they're supposed to grow up and admire us and say, oh yeah, my mama did it by herself. Well, what we hear all the time? We hear this all the time. My mom was a single mother and she raised me, and I'm thankful for her. And I'm here. You hear successful athletes say it. You hear successful people say it all the time. My mother was a single mother. She worked hard to take care of us. And now, while I do acknowledge that there are single mothers who have worked 2 and 3 jobs to take care of their children and did the best they could and did a damn good job. I will say that. Growing up, yes, I have seen single mothers who were single mothers and raised their sons and their daughters, and those children grew up to be good, productive citizens and people. So there are women, single mothers that I know of growing up who done a good job with raising their children and taking care of them. But those children still acknowledged that it was rough, and then they had it hard because she was the only parent there, and that they wished that their fathers were in their lives. So that part, I will acknowledge that, but it's still not something that you strive to do or be. It still shouldn't be now that we know better, it still should be something that you prioritize and meet the right person who actually want to be parents and want to raise kids and want to be there and want wives. You do need to find a like-minded person who wants to want the things that you want. And women should, and the difference now is women now say they want to be married, but they don't want marriage for the right reasons, because they want marriage, but they want it on their terms. And then they still have this independent mindset that is not conducive to healthy relationships or marriages. So it's a little bit different now because the priorities are different now. Everybody trying to get to the bag. It's not a sense of unity and loyalty and commitment anymore. Everybody's just looking for a come up. So yeah, they want you to marry them if you can give them a better lifestyle. It's not about working together anymore. It's about, you want a man with the money to give you bags and take care of you and give you that title, but you don't really care about doing the work that is needed to maintain a healthy marriage or relationship. So it's a bit different now. These modern women, it's a bit different. Let's continue.
What I was saying, I get was the last part of what he said.
About what?
You know what I'm saying? When the last part
I cut you off too. I'm sorry.
Boy, you cut me off because you slashed me.
I had to get in there. Sorry.
No, what I was agreeing was the last part. What he said, he's like, yo, like, he's saying, well, how would I know that a child is gonna look out for me, right? Mm-hmm. That's not my child. And like I said again, I understand that part, but I'm saying I understand. I'm saying I understand his concern, his personal concerns.
Mm-hmm. That is a crazy concern.
But those are his personal concerns.
I understand.
What I'm see,
because my opinion,
you see what I'm saying? That's what I was saying.
Yeah, okay.
But
because my opinion shouldn't have dominion over anyone.
No, but for me, what I'm saying is for me, dog. Like I said, I'm a big kid, bro.
Yeah.
I run around in my house. I play in the rain with my son, bro. I run around, and it's not just because of my son. I would that with any kid, bro. I just love to have fun and be a kid. I'm a big kid, bro. I can't help it. Right. My wife get mad at me. You ain't like a child. I'm a child, bro. I like to have fun, and I think that spirit in me just makes me get along with it. I just love all kids. Right. So I
love kids. I'm not saying I don't love kids.
No, I'm saying, but for me, my mindset is not like that's mine. That's not mine. I don't like. Even with adults, bro, kids even more. Whatever I got going on with my kids, if it's kids around me, We all involved. I don't. There's no distinguish. If I'm eating, you know how everybody
We all
eating.
eat, yeah.
But that's just how I am, bro. Like I'm very family orientated,
Yeah.
and I love people, and I love kids even more because they're innocent.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And I look at it like, wow, and I protect them the way I wanted to be protected when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just again, that's my take. That's how
Yeah.
I am.
But let me make a point, bro. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm speaking the way I'm speaking about what's going on in these recent times, right? And let me make another point. No man that is productive and competitive want to be restricted, right? I'm gonna give you an example, right? Like, okay, I'm gonna use you as an example. You're married, you have your wife, and you have your kids, right? Supposedly you get off from work, you want to go home and you want to enjoy your wife, right? It's easy for you to come home, and if your kids are past their bedtime, it's easy for you to say, "Hey, son, Janiyah and whatever it's your son, me and your mama, we got some things to take care of. It's time for you to go to your room."
Princess Naya, Princess Shy, and Pop
Right.
Pop.
It's time for you to go to your room.
Yeah,
Me and your mama got some things to handle. But if I'm a stepdad and I come home and I say something to those kids, if I say, "Hey, it's time for you guys to go to sleep," some woman, I'm not saying all, some woman would take offense to it. They'd be like, "Well, why are you talking to my kids like that? You shouldn't tell them when they go to bed or not." It happens all the time. So that's
Where
the
are these
reason why
statistics coming from?
it's happening. We're living in 2024. Come on now, let's
Well,
let's not play crazy like we don't know this is.
Well,
really
I think
happening.
remember we had the conversation we had when we had the Dear Black Woman episode, and I was saying that I feel like a lot of times, not just black men but black women as well, they don't do their due diligence. And what I meant by that is if I meet a woman, she has children, and me and her we've become, because it's gonna take time for us to live together.
Yeah.
And so I'm with this woman, we're dating, and eventually we get more serious. And I would hope that she would see the way I treat her kids with love and admiration, whatever, so that when we are living together, if I say, "Hey, it's time for everybody to go to sleep,"
Right.
I would hope she would know it's coming from a good place. She's not going to intervene. Because
Well, we know a lot of these women don't think like that. That's just a fact. That guy who was speaking at first, he's making a good point. A lot of these women will say, "Hey, I don't want a man to discipline my children." They have a father for that. But why isn't the father here in their lives? A lot of women don't. They feel some kind of way when a man tells their children what to do because those kids are not used to that and she's not used to that. She is the woman and the man in that household. She tells them what she wants. If she may oppose, those kids probably didn't have a bedtime before the man came in. So he's going to come in and implement the rules that he want to set for his household, the household that he's providing for. And a lot of these women have a problem with that. They do not want a man to come in and tell their kids what to do because it's breaking up the dynamics that she's already established. And the kids are not going to like it. And she's not going to like it. So yes, there are more of, I've seen more of that than the other side, and it's just what it is. And if you've been a single mother for a long time and you are used to a certain way and your kids are used to a certain way. So a lot of times the kids aren't going to be okay with structure if they haven't had it. You see what I'm saying? So that is a real thing. That is a real thing. Let me move it forward a little bit. And
Because you're saying one thing and then you're saying something else. So you're saying I'm not speaking for. Okay, so that's what makes it like a little bit difficult because when you say these are happening right now in these times, I need statistics, I need data, I need something to support that. And the reason I'm going to say that is because again, when you say traditional, you're not talking about modern. It's so tricky going into that area, right? I consider myself to be a modern woman.
Okay.
However, I was raised on traditional values.
Okay.
So it depends on how you would then categorize, right? That's your choice, what you see, how you, and it so on and so forth for every other man. So you understand what I'm saying? Like, so to say that's what's going on right now, I have to disagree. And I'm disagreeing because I am a modern woman. And I have modern friends that are single mothers that would completely wholeheartedly disagree with what you're saying.
I get your point, but let me ask you this, Vic. So you don't think that a man that is productive and competitive, taking on a pre-made family, so you telling me that's a good thing? How okay, let me ask you this. How are your kids are going to be an asset to me if I was dating you?
I would never date a man that ever asked me no craziness like that.
See,
I would never.
But that's
Because
the
you would
problem.
never ask me how my kids would be an asset to you.
that's the thing.
That's insanity.
But see, I'm coming from a logical standpoint. You
I
have
don't
to ask
think
those questions.
any woman
And let me say one more
is
thing.
gonna
Vic.
let you say, "How can your kids be an?" No, sweetie, no.
It's the truth.
No, it's not,
If
because
I'm-
if we're
listen,
talking about we're
listen.
living in a world.
Uh-huh.
No, because we're talking about living in a world where you're constantly putting the male on this pedestal, and you're forgetting that this is not the old days. So right now at this point, there are a lot of men that sit on a pedestal, but baby, their pedestal is way, way beneath that woman's. I'm not done.
Okay,
So
go
when
ahead.
you say, what can you bring to the table? I feel like that goes both ways these days. Traditionally, back in old days, women couldn't bring that much. We didn't have that much. We weren't able to accomplish as much. But we
Well, let me step in. Traditional women from back in the day were assets, and they brought more to the table. See, women think now that their money, because they could work, is the only asset. And that's not even a thing that men are looking for. Women brought a lot to the table back then. They were mothers. Women who know how to present themselves as women, respectable women. They didn't walk around dressing like trash and trying to look like a 304. They presented themselves as respectable women. They knew how to cook. They knew how to maintain a household. They know how to treat their men. They know how to raise a family. They weren't out here just saying, I need to get to the bag. They knew their roles as women and as wives. They were traditional women who were not offended by their roles as a wife in the household. Now we have women think that their asset is bringing some money when you don't even want to use your money in the household. Your money is your money, and you still want a man to bring traditional values to the house when you're not a traditional woman. You are a modern woman, and majority of these women are, but you don't bring modern qualities to the relationship. So that's the difference. That's the difference. These women are they are not feminine, traditional women anymore, and they don't want to be. They don't barely want to cook. They don't want to be a housewife. You say you do, but you don't. You just want to be able to do what you want to do. In general, I'm talking about, not specifically her, but in general, the majority of these women want to be outside. They want to do what they want to do, dress how they want. They don't want you to tell them nothing. There's no structure, no nothing. You just want a man to come in and be a traditional man, meaning you want him to come in and pay all the bills. You want him to provide for you and protect you, and you do whatever it is you want to do. So yeah, we're living in a society that where women recognize and acknowledge that they're modern women and they're comfortable saying that, but you want a traditional man. So that is not, if you're modern, then don't be surprised that the men are modern too, and they're treating you as such, which means they're not coming in and taking on all of this responsibility. They're not coming in and taking on children that are not theirs, because yes, men in the past, a lot of men in the past, their wives may have had a son from a previous relationship or marriage. That child came, he treated them as their own, raised them, or he may have had a son or a daughter and he brought that child and they raised them as their own. Well, now it's a modern society. So we got to understand, if you're modern women, the men are responding to that. So you can't expect a traditional man with your modern ways. So that is part of the difference. The Torion says Red Pill will continue to teach women like this. LOL. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. The Torion also says analogy. She doesn't understand. She's arguing with the customer instead of getting feedback and doing something with it to better the product. Oh my God. Amen for that. I agree. Thank you once again for the super chat. Yes, sir. Baby, let's continue.
Have come very, very far. And I'm going to say that as a single mother myself, that a lot of men cannot even sit at the table with me, if I'm being honest, and I still give them a seat. I still push the seat open for them to sit down and show me what they can bring to the table for me, because I know intellectually, I know financially, I know on a 1,000 different levels, they don't even meet me halfway. So when you make a statement like that, again, like I said, I'm a single mother. I'm a modern woman. I have so many friends across, not just in Florida, this is not Miami. I'm talking about friends, period. And they're single mothers, but they bring a lot to the table. And for a man to ever ask me what my kids could do to benefit him, he would never even speak to me again.
All right, but let me ask you this question, Vic. So do you want a man to come in there and share his resources with your kids?
I have a question.
No.
I have to counter it.
Just answer it. I need
He's
a yes
sharing
or no.
it. Do I want him to come in and share his
Vic,
resources with my
Vic,
children?
Yes or no?
I'm trying to get clarity on a question.
If you're dating a man,
what is the resources that he's sharing with my children?
his finances.
I don't need them.
Because Vic, that's cap. I don't care what you say, Vic. Listen, Vic. I don't care. If a man is dating a woman at some point in time, Vic, a woman
Let's
is
get
going to
into it.
want a man to share his finances in the household. So
Yes.
you telling me you're going to sleep, you're going to lay up there, you're going to date a man, you're going to sleep with that man, and you ain't going to ask that man to contribute his finances
So
with your kids?
here's the
I
kicker.
find that to be hard to understand.
Here's the
That is
kicker.
cap. I'm sorry.
Here's the
That's
kicker.
cap.
Here's the kicker, and we're gonna clear it up.
Go ahead.
I never said I would expect a man to come in and share his not share his finances. I never said that.
That's his
I
resources.
okay, if that's all the resources he has, that's problem number one. We're gonna start. No, that's definitely problem
That's his
number one.
resources.
That's not enough for me.
How
So
that's not
again,
enough?
it's not, because I have my own money. So when you start talking about modern women and you're sitting in front of a woman that makes well over 6 figures a year, you're not going to tell me that a man can step through that door and tell me, what can your kids do for me? No, baby, what can you do for this household? Because this household runs effortlessly without your finances.
Okay, Vic,
so
Vic.
the expectation would be, if you're stepping through this door, why would you step through my door and you're not
All right,
able to
Vic,
provide any
okay,
resources?
Vic, okay, Vic, listen, I don't care if you make 6 figures. You know why? Because at the end of the day, your 6 figures is for you. You would never share it with me. At the end of the day,
Why would you think
listen,
that?
But Vic, listen, at the end of the day, whether you make 6 figures or not, you would still want a man to come through there to take over the finances, to take that burden off your shoulders. Don't give it to Vic. Every woman wants that. So when I hear women say that they're not looking for a man to share their resources, that is cap. Let me finish making another point.
No, you
This
can't.
is another risk. Listen, Ralph, let me make this one final point. This is another risk of a man that is competitive and productive, that's getting to a situation where he's dealing with a pre-made family. Who was to say, if I was to marry you and you divorce me, you will go to the courthouse and put me on child support for the next 18 years for kids that don't even belong to me. And matter of fact, even if I'm not married to you, if I've been dating you for a substantial amount of time, depending on what the state, you can still go and put me on child support for 18 years for kids that are not mine. So to close it off, a man, a productive man that's dating a single modern baby mom in this generation, that's a lose-lose situation. And I'm gonna end it like that.
Well, child, listen. Look, he was saying a lot, and I think a lot of women don't want to accept that. A lot of women don't want to accept that. You don't want to accept the truth, and and this the entitlements. Once again, you a single mother. Just because you say you make 6 figures, okay. The audacity for a man to come in and think that he cannot provide because I'm providing for myself is also the wrong mentality, the wrong attitude. If you're looking for a serious relationship, already you could see that modern woman mentality is there, meaning I don't really need you. I want you, but I don't really need you because you're coming into my environment where we've already been established. I run this the way I want. I'm already making the money. I'm already taking care of my kids. Operative word, my kids, is not his kids, should already be red flags to men out here when dating. Well, because all you hear, my kids, these are my kids, these are my rules. I make my own money. I do what I want. You got to listen to what I say. So that comes with the modern woman mentality. So if you don't want to have to deal with that, this is part of the reason why I don't recommend men dating single mothers, because single modern women, because it's all about them. It's all about them and their kids. It's their kids, but they want you to provide for their kids. And it is cap when women say, oh, you're going to come into my life and I got it all together, but I'm not expecting you to do anything for my kid. That's BS. Yes, you are. He's holidays to come, Christmas. You want him to just buy you a gift? If he living, he's in that household with you and your kids. You mean to tell me he's going to buy food for you and him and not the kids? He's going to provide household things for you and him, but not the kids. Christmas comes, he's not going to buy your kids a gift. He's just going to get his child and you a gift, and that's it. Nothing for the kids, because you got money and you're going to provide for your kids. So you're going to buy all the presents for your kids, and he's going to just only buy you some. That's bull. That's BS. That ain't happening like that. That ain't going to happen like that. And so I think this is the denial that a lot of women are in, and this is why they're struggling in relationships. And it's the bottom line is this. I don't care how they try to slice it, how they try to shame you. Most men don't want to get in a relationship with single mothers because of the facts that man pointed out. And it's the truth. They don't want to have to deal with all of that. They don't have to deal with your children and you and your children, they want to make their own children, because when you create your own family, you know for a fact that those are your kids. Their kids are going to call you daddy, and that's it. There's no other man that they're going to be calling dad, because you're present. You're there. You raising your kids are going to say daddy, not one day, you're not my daddy, because they know you're not. They know you're the daddy. You know for a fact you're in their lives. You're dad, and that's that. You don't have to worry about all the other drama that comes with being what somebody calls step dummy. I agree with that, because that's what it is. That's just what it is. And it's on top of that, the mentality that the women have makes it worse. I could see if you had one child, and I'm just saying, one child, because some men say, hey, one is a minimum. They might accept you with one, but your attitude and the way you think would have to change. It all boils down to your attitude and your mentality. If you're a modern woman, then that's a red flag within itself. Especially if you're a single modern mother, you're a single modern mother, single woman and a mother, that's flags all against you. That's red flags that's not in your favor. You know what I'm saying? That's red flags in general. Because you think like this. The way she thinks is gonna be hard for her to get a man who's productive, and especially a man who doesn't have any kids. And she doesn't want men with kids. So a man without any children, he's gonna require a lot more. I'm just saying. And a lot of these women don't measure up. Marriage, Politics, and Sports says, you are cooking, DeeDee. This sister is lost in her own world. That is why she is still riding the carousel. Right, exactly. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Quick 504 says, when she no longer have that money, she will be humbled. That's facts. Thank you for that, quick 504. That is true. A lot of women boast with their money, and then when that money is, now you just need a man. You're looking for anybody. Kingdom Mindset says she didn't want the kids to submit because she will have to also, or the kids will start to notice her behavior. So she keep the kids rebellious also as a tactic. That's a good, interesting point. Exactly. Right. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Thank you for the super chat, Kingdom Mindset. The Torion says, peace is the new... Peace is the new P-U-S-S-Y. Peace, that's the new peace, Torion. Got it. So I get it. Peace. Yeah, and from what I hear, most men would agree. Your peace is more important than anything else. And that makes sense. I mean, because men are tired of the BS. Men are tired of the foolishness. Men don't want to have to go through all that. They just want to be if you could find you a woman who's who can rock with you, y'all get along, and she's peaceful, y'all could do things together. It's not all this craziness. I think men would prefer that. This is why I asked the question. Thank you once again for the super chat. I appreciate you. This is why I asked men a while back on previous panels. Look, what would you prefer? Would you prefer a woman who's decent in the looks? She's not a 7, 8, or 9, or 10, but she's like a 5 or a 6 in looks. But she's a peaceful, loving woman who cares about you and is really there to support you and reciprocate, the love and all of that. Would you accept that woman who's not that good looking, but she gives you everything that you want, over a super attractive woman who's all into herself, is not really looking to give you anything? What would you choose? Unfortunately, I think a lot of men, they kind of didn't answer it fully. They kind of like said they need somebody that looks great. And I think that's going to always be the issue. If she looked good, of course, men want attractive women, but I'm saying if she was less attractive, but she gave you everything else, and the peace and all of that, you can come home to a nice cooked meal, house clean, your woman greeting you and showing you love and loving on you, but she's not the most beautiful woman, but she's beautiful in spirit and inside. Would you choose that over a woman who's the most gorgeous, got that body, everything y'all be wanting? Well, a lot of men want, but she's just a hot mess. You know what I mean? She's just cute. Which one would you choose? Train to Live says access to 6 figures earnings for women is driving a social wedge between modern Western men and women. It is. And the thing about it, it's not a whole bunch of women who earn 6 figures or more. It's not even a whole bunch of them who earn that. And then a lot of them are lying about their earnings. It makes them feel good and make them look good. And they think that it makes them look good in the eyes of men, not realizing that men aren't looking for a women who make 6 figures. Men are looking for more traditional women. more of a woman who's willing to be, more feminine, that whole, idea of a, a traditional woman, not a woman who's out here trying to reach the corporate ladder or do all of that. They want a woman who's more traditional and that's from what they're saying. Thank you once again for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, this is crazy, but this is the mindset of a lot of single mothers. Donovan Sweet says, I dated a single mom, was the worst decision of my life. Dang. He says she expected to pay for all the expenses, but couldn't discipline the child. She even told me my money is hers while her money was also hers. So what is did you want to say she expected you to pay for all the expenses, but couldn't discipline the child? She even told me my money is hers while her money was also hers. That's how women think. My money is my money and your money is my money. A lot of their kids are undisciplined, and if we're gonna keep it real, thank you once again for the super chat, Donovan. I appreciate you. The kids be off the chain, don't have real discipline. They don't know how to act. A lot of them, they're not trained properly. And they just, they want somebody to come in, but then, they say they want somebody to come in and be a stepfather, but then when a man comes in and starts putting his foot down and discipline, and then they don't want that. Oh, you can't talk about y'all do. It's a real thing. Thank you once again, Donovan. All right, y'all. So we gonna move on. I have another clip I want to play for y'all. And I have a few clips actually, but the next one I want to show you comes from the Pop the Balloon show, which that show is all over the place, and there's different versions of this show. But I want to touch on this one because I thought this was interesting. So we're gonna kind of go through this one. You guys, make sure you are hitting the like button. We have 464 people watching. Make sure you hit the like button. Go ahead and tap that like button while I'm talking. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. So let me pull this up. I want to kind of go through this one as well. Here we go.
My name is Moan.
Moan?
Moan, like make
Moan?
you moan? Yeah.
Okay,
Moan.
and how old are you?
I'm 38.
38. Okay, and what do you do?
I'm a creative impresario.
Okay, and what does that mean?
So pretty much creative impresario is a person that excels in the arts. So I have a video production company called Dreamcast Video, and I'm also a brand, so I'm Moan on a beat.
Okay, cool. And now what are some things you look for in a woman?
Now, before we continue, you guys, I'm streaming on Twitch. So if you haven't followed me on Twitch, follow me on Twitch. Also on my second channel. Make sure you guys go over and subscribe to my second channel as well. I'm streaming on that channel as well. So subscribe to my second channel and follow me on Twitch. Let's continue.
So I look for emotional maturity. I look for consistency and pretty feet and good credit.
Okay.
But if you don't got good credit, you got bad credit, I know how to fix that to get us some funding. You feel me?
Okay, got it. And now what are some of your deal breakers?
My deal breakers, ugly feet. Deal breakers is also attitude. I don't do attitude and
Okay.
combativeness. I don't do that either.
Okay. All right, so we did get a couple of pop balloons. Let's go on over to some of these ladies and see why they ended up popping. All right, if we can have your name and age.
I'm Alexis, and I'm 29.
Okay. Alexis, why did you pop your balloon?
I didn't really like the make you moan statement, and you kind of look like coming to America right now.
I got you.
But hey, as long as you happy, I'm happy.
For sure. I see you used to dealing with peasants, so you don't know when you see a king.
Whoop! Hey, let me listen. Are y'all feeling his outfit? Are y'all feeling his fit? What y'all think? It doesn't look like coming to America because they were dragging his outfit. What do y'all think his outfit? Y'all like it or y'all know? It's a no. Let's continue.
Okay.
Is she someone that's your type?
I say I like feet.
Oh.
I ain't really feeling her feet,
Hey, I'm kind of hot right now. So.
but the feet ain't working for me. So
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? She hold on, but she pretty though. Yeah. She definitely pretty, but you could look like Holly Berry. If you ain't got pretty feet, I ain't rocking with it. Bless up.
Okay, let's go to our next lady.
No
If we can have
what do y'all think about,
your name and
what do y'all
age and why you ended up popping.
do y'all women have to have like immaculate feet Because you know, there are a lot of men who are into the feet like that. They won't even fool with you if your feet look atrocious. Is feet that important? Because I've heard some dudes say they woman have to have pretty feet. Are the feet that important? I want to know. Let me know what y'all think. Chime in the comments in the chat. But let's continue.
Popping your balloon.
I'm Lexi and I'm 27. It's complicated. You don't have no socks, so it's just not it.
For sure.
It's not it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is Lexi someone that's your type?
Let's look at
And
Lexi real quick.
don't do too much.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Lexi, you kind of doing your thing, you know.
Thanks.
She got a queen look, feet pretty, got a nice tattoo.
Thank you.
That's your real hair?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, if that's your real hair, yeah.
Thank
She
you.
cool. Yeah, she look decent.
Thank you.
For sure.
Okay, thank you. Let's go on over here. If we can have your name and age and why you ended up popping.
You know what I don't like? I don't like when women tell a man don't do too much. What you mean? What you know, I really hate that. I hate when a woman because she told him don't do too much. I've seen a couple of women say that. I hate when women say that to a man. Don't do too much. Why? He can't speak his truth. Like y'all speak y'all's. Y'all could tell. What if a man started telling y'all don't do too much? Y'all gonna be calling him sassy. Why tell the man don't do too much? He looking at you, he analyzing you, he's saying what he see from his perspective, just like y'all do. Why they always be like, don't do too much? What you mean too much? Let him be who and say how he feels. Just like y'all can say what y'all want, y'all thinking how y'all feel. Just don't do too much. What's too much? Him being honest? You know, or you want him to ignore what he see? It's crazy. But let's continue.
Your balloon.
My name is Tiffany, and I'm 26 years old. It's just you seem like a funny guy. I love to laugh, but it's just giving real gimmicky.
Sure.
That's really it to me.
Okay.
It's just giving gimmicky. The moan statement, it's just giving gimmick to me.
Cool.
That's really it.
Okay, cool. I like that.
Okay, so is Tiffany someone that's your type?
Nah.
Okay, and why not?
The fit is kind of cheesy to me. Kind of looking a little bit rainbowish, you know what I'm saying? I'm not one that do lace fronts, so I don't really feel like the lace fronts. And but don't get it twisted. I could see through all that, and through all that, you beautiful.
Thank
You know what
you.
I'm saying? And you got a soul that glow.
Thank you.
But gimmicky, look me up. You see what's good
Okay.
with me. For sure.
Got you.
And this another thing too. Okay, look, y'all know I'm married, so I have not been on a dating scene, but you know, I know people who are dating. But my thing is this, like, how can you, well, this is the part I don't understand. Okay, I can understand as soon as somebody walk up, you looking at the outfit, you looking like, dang, what he got on or what she got on. I don't really like that outfit. But I mean, he's an attractive guy. He's not an ugly guy. His outfit might be a little gimmicky. People might not be like, they might be like, what are you wearing? You like one of them toy soldiers or something. You know what I'm saying? That's what I get. But when you look past that, because he's looking at these women and he told that last woman he didn't like her outfit, giving him rainbowish, which I agree, but he could see past that. He said that's not really his type. But what I'm saying is, how do you know? So is first impressions the best impression? Sometimes if it's just an outfit or, you know, something simple that you can change, or do people even look past that? Like, I could look past your outfit because you could change that outfit. I think maybe I'm just old school that I would look more for, you know, and ask other questions. I would ask questions, like, you know, that would show me more of your character. Questions that will allow me to get a little glimpse into who you are as a person besides your outer exterior. You know what I'm saying? As far as your clothes and things like that you can change. You know, if you're really looking for something serious and something that you can build upon, don't y'all think that it goes beyond your clothes? As long as you're not coming out here dirty, with stains all over your clothes, looking just unkept, just a mess, like you didn't give a care, you know, as long as you're presentable, you're clean, you know, and you look, he's not an unattractive guy. You know, how do you know if it's just not a connection just off of a few seconds of looking at the person's outfit? Like, I think a lot of people miss out on the real importance of a person because of the superficial. You know what I mean? You don't even give a person a chance. Like, why wouldn't you take a chance? And if he has other good qualities, maybe his outfit is whack, or maybe her outfit is whack. But wouldn't you, if she has other qualities, or if he has other qualities that seem good, give them a chance based on something substantial and not just the outfit. Y'all get what I'm saying? That's how I would look at it. Bernard Go Hard says, throughout my whole dating life, I can't do ugly feet or hands. Okay. Okay, at least you're being honest. Look, thank you for the super chat. Be honest. Honesty is the best policy. But you know, I'm just saying, like, so if they have ugly feet or other hands, that's a deal breaker. You won't even give them a chance. Dang. Anyway, let's continue.
All right. If we can have your name and age and why you ended up popping your balloon.
Hi, I'm C and I'm 36.
Okay, see.
I ended up popping my balloon because I didn't like some of the comments that you made, but also I don't like your outfit. I mean, I do think, I think it's great that you're 38. That's kind of the age range that I'm going for. And you do seem funny. But I think a lot of the guys before you kept it really like classy and really nice. And that's the type of guy that I'm looking for.
I hear that.
Someone nicer. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Okay. Is he someone that's your type?
C's pretty cool. Pretty feet,
Thank you.
cool outfit. The outfit, I mean, people saying I'm gimmicky. The outfit look kind of gimmicky.
I mean,
But,
it's better than yours.
It's better than
It's better than
And
yours.
I'm really like into like I really like natural. But again, just like I mentioned with her, I'm all about natural, and I can see through it all, and you're beautiful. You seem like you have like an aura that's really glowing, and I rock with that. I like beautiful skin, amazing skin, and yeah, she pretty cool.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. Thank you. Let's go on over here. If we can have your name and age and why you ended up popping your balloon.
Hi, my name is Nkira and I'm 32. I really, I really don't know what to say, but I don't think I feel like a connection between us. And I mean, you look nice, but I don't think you're the right person for me.
Respect.
And what's making you feel like he's not really the right person for you?
Like some of the comments you made earlier, that was part of it. And I don't know, I just don't feel the connection. Like traditional aspect.
For sure.
Traditionally, I don't.
But see, that's my point. How do you feel the connection just based off of his outfit? So if he's not wearing an outfit that you like, then there's no connection. How do you know? You don't even know anything about him. You just see an outfit and his tote bag, his purse or whatever, and you like, oh, there's no connection here. And what did he say earlier that made you feel? Because he's about feelings with women. Your feelings could be wrong. You don't know anything about him. What connection are you looking for? It has to be instant gratification, or instant connection based off of looks when you first see somebody, and then okay, not knowing anything else about them, it's just based off of that. So if you go through your entire life looking at a person based off of looks and that's it, then that would be pretty much why so many people are single. Because your looks is not the only thing that determines what type of person you are. So if you're just going solely off of a look, then this is why a lot of specifically women are single, because you're just looking at a man, oh, he dressed his outfit is whack, and that's it. That's all. So his outfit is whack. You don't know anything else about him. This man could really change your life, and you don't know that because you just let him go based off of his outfit. Not knowing he could switch that up if he wants to. He could take that hat off. He could put that purse down, and he could be everything in a bag of chips. He could be everything that you ever wanted in your life, but you missed out on that opportunity because you don't like his outfit. This is why I say superficial gets people messed up. The superficial is why people are single. Superficial is why you don't have a good relationship, because you're only basing it off of what somebody looks like, what they wearing. They got to have swag. It goes back to that. The man got to be hood. He got to be this. And then if he walk up and boom, if anything else, this Pop the Balloon show shows how superficial people are. And the majority of them on this show don't get a match because they're going off of superficial ideals. They're not really going into anything pertinent, anything that would manifest, or anything that would resemble a stable relationship. Because if you just worried about how y'all look together, what you wearing, it's gonna yield you by yourself for the rest of your life. Kingdom Mindset says she didn't upset the sisterhood, pressured. I think I don't. She didn't. I guess to upset the sisterhood, pressure. I don't know exactly what you was trying to say, but thank you for the super chat, Kingdom Mindset. I appreciate you. M. Jones says he's not medium ugly, knows his work, and has confidence. That's the problem. I agree with you, M. Jones. I agree with that. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I think so. I think he is confident. He didn't disrespect anyone. He gave them his critiques of what he thought, and he also he gave them his thoughts of what he didn't like, and he also gave them what he liked. He didn't just, he didn't disrespect them at all. He didn't like bash them. He gave them the ups and the downs of what he saw. He's like, "Hey, I could see through that. You're beautiful." He gave them what he thought that somewhat considered negative, and then he gave them compliments as well. To me, I think that's a positive. But because he dressed the way he's dressed, he doesn't get any points, or doesn't get anything just because of that. There's nothing negative that they could say about this man other than his outfit. So that shows you don't know anything. This man could be it, but they miss out on it because you want the man he has to have a certain vibe, a certain appeal to you right out the gate. And if not, you moving on. Divine Photo says, honestly, they come on shows just to reject men and promote their dusty IGs. If Brad dressed like that, would they have the same energy? Oh my God, Divine Photos, you bring up a good point. Maybe who knows? You know what I mean? Because if you're looking at a man other than non-black man, and some of them men be coming in looking like a hot mess, and they might be willing to accept him because they see him as some type of prize. They see that non-white, non-black man as something, as a prize, and maybe they could benefit from being with him. So you're right. He might not. It might have not been an issue. But yeah, he comes off. This guy. Thank you once again for the super chat, Divine Photos. He comes off as confident. He's not combative. He's not disrespectful. So they don't know what to think of that because you're used to toxicity. So any man that comes in with some confidence, it throws them off. That's really what it is. I agree. Let's continue.
Where are you from?
I'm Caribbean. I'm originally from the USA.
Yeah.
Mother's Trinidadian, father's Jamaican.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, nice. But
sure.
I don't think I feel the connection.
Cool.
Yes.
Got it. And now, is she someone that's your type?
She's giving me real goddess energy. Like the fit is definitely on point. The rings, the gold, the glow, the
Thanks.
neck, the heels.
Go ahead.
No, I mean I'll keep it 100.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you said had comments back there, but I give credit when it's due, and you definitely glowing, superstar.
All right, thank you.
Bless up yourself. Don't worry yourself.
All right, if we can have your name and age and why you ended up popping your balloon.
I'm Danielle, and I'm 35. I popped my balloon originally because it just didn't match the kind of person that I am. Personality-wise, just coming out just the way we're dressed, I feel like we wouldn't step out together. But on top of that, I feel like you're going to tear me up and then break my ass right the fuck back down. So I'll stay clear of that.
For sure.
All right, so is she someone that's your type?
Well, me having Caribbean parents, I'm real big on energy and real big on auras. And you seem like you have an amazing aura. So I would never break you down. Anybody that rocks with me, I always lift them up. I'm an upgrader, always upgrade. Anybody that comes in my vicinity, I upgrade them. You get what I'm saying? But you, beautiful feet, beautiful heels, the dress is immaculate, the watch is crazy, the tattoo is like that, the kisses on the chest is like that, hair is like that. I'm gonna give you a
This
salute.
mine, too. Don't.
Oh, that's you?
Yeah, this mine.
That's
This
you?
Mine.
So big up yourself, darling. Me nah worry yourself.
I appreciate you.
For sure.
All right, if we can have your name and age and why you ended up popping your balloon.
My name's Kiana. I'm 32.
Bless up yourself, Kiana.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Kiana and 32. I popped my balloon because, just seems very not flashy, but showy and whatnot.
Okay.
Not understanding the fit. So I don't know if it's coming to America. But I mean, as far as that's what it looks like, and all power to you. But yeah,
For sure.
yeah. I just know if that's how you dress, because if we're going on a date and whatnot, I'm very like a, chill, kind of not flashy at all kind of person.
I got you.
So yeah, that's it.
For sure.
Now, is she someone that you would approach? She your type?
Was you Kiana? Kiana's cool. Where you from?
Miami.
Miami. Okay. So I'm from Silver Spring, Maryland, but I know a lot of people in Southeast DC. You give me that type of vibe, which is smooth. Your aura is beautiful. I like the colors. Feet is gorgeous. I love feet. Feet is gorgeous. Heels is different. I like that. But a lot of people not gonna understand where I'm at because I'm on like an elevated level. You get what I'm saying? And again, like I told the other, anybody that come in my vicinity, I upgrade them. You get what I'm saying? And what might seem gimmicky to some is treasure to others. You feel what I'm saying? So, is she somebody that I would date? Not really. Not really. Not because she isn't attractive, but I'm a artsy type of person, and when it comes to people that I connect with, it's people that is in the artsy nature. You know what I mean? I do events, I do art shows, things like that, and not saying that she doesn't fit that vibe, but again, like the others, I could see through everything. And I got one question, like, and it's really pertaining to you and a couple of other females with the lashes. What is it with women with lashes? What is it?
Wait, I don't know. Like what you're wearing a piece that's exemplifying your everything about you. So
For sure.
that's what I'm doing. I'm just wearing a piece that's exemplifying my beauty. So
Nah, trust me, sweetheart, you beautiful.
yeah.
So I'm not, I just, I think that a lot of times women, when they're wearing the lashes, I think they're wearing it for themselves and not knowing what a man really likes. And a man really likes supernatural, but you
Me,
are,
I'm the type of person where I'm gonna do everything how I want to do for myself, as far as like even what I'm eating, losing weight, because I'm just gonna do how I want myself to look,
For
and my
sure.
man just has to like it. Like,
for sure. Okay, cool. I like that. That's
Thank
what's
you.
up. For sure.
Let's go back.
All right. So look, I'm gonna leave it there, y'all. What she just said is part of the problem. I'm just saying. Now, look, I'm not saying as a woman, yeah, there's certain things, we do. We're women. We like makeup, we like extensions, we like these things, but you gotta think about if you're on a dating show, if you're out here in the dating market and you're looking for a specific type of man, and if the majority of men are saying, "Hey, we like more natural, we like this, y'all don't really need the lashes, just your natural lashes, your natural face," and I've talked to men on this panel have told me, hey, they don't mind if a woman wears extensions here and there for special occasions. They're not saying you can't wear it at all. Most men are saying they mean like this wig glued on your head continuously, big, not natural. Because if there are women who wear natural lashes, and a lot of men don't even recognize that that's fake lashes because they're so natural. So I'm thinking, and y'all let me know if I'm wrong or not. But a lot of men don't even recognize when women have on natural lashes because they look like they're real lashes. I think they're more concerned with the big lashes sitting out way too obvious, look a hot mess on your eyes. You can't even see your eyes. And then piled on makeup to where you look like a totally different person. So when you take the makeup off, he don't know who you are. You look like a totally different person. And this what they would call Decepticons. What they call them Decepticons, which is funny to me, where they're deceiving the man. Where you present yourself one way, but when you take all of that off, you look like a totally different person. That's what I think men are saying they don't want. And y'all correct me if I'm wrong. You don't want somebody that don't look nothing like themselves with all this paint on their face and they've got to wear it continuously every day, all day. You never get to see their natural skin, natural hair, natural nothing. I don't think that's what men don't want. So if the majority of men, if you're looking for a man and the majority of the men are telling you, we don't want all this fake stuff, can you just keep it more natural? And women are saying they want men. If you're not willing to listen to what the man is saying, then if you're only doing stuff because you want to do it, that shows a selfish mentality. And you're going to take that selfish mentality into the relationship. You're going to want to do whatever it is you want. You want him just to accept it. That's the problem. A relationship is not about self. It's about we doing things together. It's not about you just getting your way and everything that you want. That's one of them. That's over with. Men want something too. If you're expecting so much from a man, he has to have all these things and meet all these expectations, then he wants something from you too. And that shouldn't be a problem. He wants to expect something from you. And if all he's saying is, I want more natural woman, a more feminine woman, a woman. I don't want you going around with these big fake lashes on, these big obvious makeup so piled on your face, your pores. You can't even see your pores, and you can't even sweat through it. Like that's all they're asking for. So when women say, "Look, I don't really care what a man wants. I'm doing this for me," that's a red flag. It really is. It's a red flag to men. You got to understand what men want if you want one. B. Wyatt says every man's first question should be, who has kids? Right. Shout out to you, BY. Thank you for the super chat. Right. Just get that question out the way, right? So you annoying him not was make a beeline the opposite way, right? That's what you said. Thank you for the super chat. Bernard Gohar says, Eskitty boy, Twitter boy, when I got a woman in the huckabuck with the leg up, I like soft, natural arch feet in my hand. Thank you so much for that information, Bernard. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Y'all a mess, but it's the truth. Lord have mercy, Jesus Christ. So listen, and shout, like I say, shout out to all the successful men, all the good men, all the men who are out here working hard, trying to make it. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the good women that are still left out here. If you're single, I really would love for you guys to speak up. Make yourself known, because these men, there may be some hope for some of these men if they can find, the good women that are still out here, that are left, that are more natural, more feminine. Women who aren't aggressive and single, independent, where they don't really need you, but they want you. If you want a man, you need to let it be known. You need to let the men know that you're out there, that you want good men, that you're not a gold digger, that you're just not somebody out here looking to just be a financial vampire to a man. I mean, that you actually want to work with a man. You actually want to have a relationship. You actually want to build something with him. Y'all need to come out. Stop being scared. Y'all need to let these men know that y'all exist, because from what we're seeing, and as much as I'm saying there are some good women out there, the majority of the good women are already taken. I will say that. The good women usually do get snatched up. That is the truth. But there's still some who are around who are torn, because maybe they had a bad relationship and they're just skeptical about men. And because this false narrative that people are pushing out here, that all black men are just horrible and bad and they're just criminals and you can't trust them. So that makes some women, they might be a little apprehensive about getting into relationships or whatever, because they're listening to the false narratives and the rhetoric that's being pushed out here. Because the women who are single mothers and who are having a hard time getting a man are the ones who are constantly trying to force that narrative to make other women think that these men are no good and you shouldn't trust them and you shouldn't be trying to look for one. So, y'all got to come out. Y'all got to come out and let these men know that y'all exist. And maybe there's hope in getting into a good relationship. Because I think for a lot of men who are single, a lot of these men want companionship. They want good women. But they're saying it's hard to find. And vice versa with the women. They're scared because everybody's saying these men are dusties and they ain't no good. So they're not even giving it a chance. And, so you gotta come out the woodworks. You gotta make yourself known. You gotta let them know that y'all are out here. So, let's see. I'm going to drop my link, but only for a short period, y'all. Only for a minute. If you want to come up and give your 2 cents really quickly, I'm going to allow one at a time to do that. And then we're going to get off of here. So I'm going to go ahead and share the link. Give me a second. Oh my God, I can't spell. Hold on. So I'm gonna drop the link, and if you want to come up and give your 2 cents or give your thoughts on this live stream, I'll allow you to do it. But we're gonna keep it short, you guys. So go ahead if you wanna. If you want to come up and give your 2 cents really quickly, I'm gonna let you do that one at a time. That way we can move this along. Also, make sure you guys hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Let me see. And don't forget, y'all, I am streaming on my second channel and Twitch as well. So if you haven't followed me on Twitch, follow me on Twitch and follow me on my second channel as well. Let's see here. I'm gonna see if I can put a link to my second channel. If you haven't subscribed, you can go ahead and subscribe to the second channel as well, you guys. I'm still trying to figure out what kind of content I'm putting over there. But definitely subscribe to that channel as well. It's called DeeDee Part 2. And I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the chat so you guys can go ahead and subscribe. So hit that link in the chat and subscribe to my second channel, you guys. I'm definitely going to be putting more videos over there. If you come into the live chat, make sure you have a picture on your avatar. And I'll give you a few minutes to give your thoughts, and then we're going to move on. How you doing?
How you doing?
Good. What's your name, Jeff?
Jefe, like boss.
Jefe. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
I think you got to do a lot of research on whoever you date. You know what I mean? You got to do a research on their family. Their health check. You know what I mean? That's very important. You don't want to have children that are going to have health issues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But definitely do a lot of research. I always look at I've been married. You know what I mean? When I was 19, got a divorce when I was like 21. And I never got back. I had kids back to back with two different women. You know what I mean? Made two huge mistakes at 20 years old. Cost me a lot. You know what I mean? But you definitely do a lot of research on the mother and the fathers and the families. But it was a great show. I loved it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate you. Take care. Anybody else want to come up? Because if not, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Anybody else want to give their 2 cents? I'm going to leave it up for a second. Hit the like button, you guys. Hit the like button before we wrap this up. Let's see. Skinnyboy24 says, we appreciate you coming up. Yes, thank you. Yep. They brought it up on the self. Oh, my last pregnancy. I don't know. Okay, thank you. Good women don't really be outside. That's true. That is true. That is true. Let's see. Hustler. What's going on, Hustler?
Nothing much. What's good, DeeDee?
Not much. What's your thoughts on what you've heard today on this live?
I mean, first of all, that Pop the Balloon show is dumb as hell. It's like a ratchet ass version of the Love Connection, if you ask me. They should call it the Lust Connection, not the Love Connection. Shoot. At least the Love Connection was more cordial and presentable compared to this BS that they've been doing. It may as well be. It may as well be. What's the other show they did? Smash or Pass, but with a balloon. Yeah.
Right. So clearly you don't like it.
No. And it just blows me how they talk about it's hard to find somebody. It's hard to find, but then you got all these men that come on the show possibly looking for relationships. I mean, I didn't see an issue with what the man was wearing. From what I understand, he's from Jamaica or Caribbean, and this is how he dresses. Because I see men wearing those little, what they call turbans or whatever. I don't judge him. I'm like, if that's your culture, kudos to you.
Right.
Kind of like how we wear do-rags out in public. He may not want that, but he wants to wear something. But these ladies are so quick to judge men based on their appearance, even if they look presentable, because there are other things about you don't like. That's
Right.
all well and good, but don't you get mad at these men because they have a standard. Clearly, this man had a standard too. And they get mad at us because we reject women for having similar standards. Like, for example, I don't want no female with a lot of weave in her hair. Wear it on occasions, but come on, let your freaking natural hair shine. Lashes, same thing. Let your natural lashes out. But then it'll be like, well, take me as I am. This is how I dress. Shut your ass up and just accept the fact that I got a standard just like you do.
Right.
So no, it's
You don't hear that. You don't hear that, hustler.
no, they don't. They don't want to hear that. Talking about we don't know how to take rejection. We can accept the rejection, but first of all, how you reject these men is most important. And second of all, how do you ladies take rejection?
Not well.
No, I've heard too many. Seriously, I got cussed out some years ago because I don't want to accept the woman's advances. So what does that tell you?
Oh wow.
I've seen women cuss men out because because the man didn't want to be with them. I've seen them insult them. It's happened to me a few times, so I know it happens. But we're supposed to just take rejection, whatever it is, good or bad. But this is a Caribbean traditional man looking for a relationship, but these females didn't seem like they were down for him because of his outfit. I mean, like the ladies come on that show looking their best.
Right.
Some of them look nice, but they're so quick to judge a man based on how he looks. It's mind-boggling. I think both should have a standard, and both should look past their outfits. Both need to be equally yoked. That's just my take on the whole thing. What you think?
Well, I agree. You know, I agree. Yeah, I think it goes beyond what you're dressed like. As long as you're clean and you're neat, I think that's all that matters. You have to get to know the person beyond that, their outer exterior. That's just how I think. But I'm gonna go ahead and let somebody else hustler. I'm not gonna keep y'all too long. I'm gonna go ahead and let somebody else. But I appreciate you.
Not a problem. Before I hop off, I'm doing my birthday's in a couple days. I'm doing a live stream to celebrate back.
Early birthday. When is your birthday?
Yeah, on the 8th.
Oh, July 8th. Okay. All right.
I'll be hitting the big 4-0. I'm up there with you, my lady.
You that old? Oh my God, I thought you was younger.
Old.
Oh, okay. You're not that old. All right. You know what I'm saying?
Old.
That
makes two of us.
I didn't know. I thought you was younger. I thought you were like 35 or something.
Nope, I'm 39.
Oh, wow. Well, early happy birthday to you.
Thank you, DeeDee. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Well, until next time, hustler. Take care. Trey Ferg in the building. What's going on?
What's up, man, DeeDee? Oh man, what's up with you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How you been, Ferg?
Oh, how you doing? I'm okay. How you been doing?
Great. What's been going on?
I'm just out in the streets, just messing around for a little bit before I go home. I saw you was on and dropped that link. I'm like, man, let me get out here. I didn't know if I wanted to chew you out. I'd be excited. I'm like, man, yeah. So, listen, it's been a lot going on these last several months since you really, I don't know, man. These young folk are going crazy.
Right.
They losing their mind. I think with the show, it really exposes the brokenness of who we are.
Yeah.
The reasons why we disqualify somebody who's more qualified for the position. And these are poor people's arguments. It's just unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? Because the women, she said it. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to. The hell with you ninjas, what y'all talking about. It don't matter. But I still want you to give me everything that I demand, which makes no sense to me. And I think you see the women, as KS used to always identify, once they get to that 34, 35-year-old, they start aging out anyway. So they're going to do whatever they got to do to keep the younger women from even achieving half the shit that they could have with a man. And they're going to just preach this. And it's like the lowest of the low always seem to have a microphone. And I think that's where it's going to always hurt. Like you said, the women who want to be in a space of, with a family and raise children with a family, it would behoove them to step forward and just start having a voice in any capacity. Because if not, you got young adult children, I got young adult children. This shit murky as hell out here. it's murky as hell, and it's unfortunate because we ain't got no better since last year. We probably gotten worse.
Right.
You
That's
know,
what I'm thinking. Right.
I don't know, Miss DeeDee. You know, I mean, I try to give a glimmer of hope because I speak to the younger people. These old 35, 40-year-old, fuck them. They on some bullshit anyway. It's
Now,
everybody's fault,
Miss Trey
huh?
Fur, you gotta minimize the cussing.
Oh, you know what? I do apologize. I won't cuss anymore. These little mid-30 first generation, second generation crack era babies, they like forget everybody. It's everybody's fault. It's my daddy's fault. It's my mama's fault. It's my grandmama's fault. It's the school's fucking fault. It's everybody's fault except looking at your own life and doing better. That's
Right.
all it is. When you get to a space in life where you want better, you gotta do better. Because guess what? I ain't giving no adult nothing. You gonna earn everything with me. You want some money from me? You better come rake my yard, cut my grass, clean my gutters. I just how I move, and it got me to this place so far. It's just unfortunate because I don't know, Miss DeeDee. I was hoping you can have the answer and I can just champion it, but I don't know. It's
You got,
I move around, so
but
I
they
don't.
don't want the answers. They don't want the answers.
And it's unfortunate because the world is still moving around us, and
Yeah.
everybody gonna be trying to listen when they out on the streets because ain't nobody want to work with nobody.
Right. Right.
These are same adults raised by the same mother. You can go to anybody's family gathering and you see the same people on both sides arguing about stuff that happened in 1979 when they wasn't even around. Arguing about stuff because your daddy was around and my daddy wasn't around. When y'all both living in the same of it. It just doesn't make sense to me, On the next census, I told my wife, we already gonna claim to be white. I'm light skinned enough. We gonna claim to be white because black folk, regardless if you're light skinned, dark skinned, or whatever, everybody's still fighting over nonsense. We're fighting over nonsense. So I don't know, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Salute. Come on back. You know what I'm saying? Tell the husband I said, what's up? Fuck. I mean, listen, it's my last thing. And it's Friday. All you little dirty adults, go take a bath, sit in the tub, soak your hoo-ha, soak your cheeks, clean yourself. It's summertime. Get outside. Appreciate you, sister.
Take care until next time. Be safe, Trey Fur. Later. Rod. I'm gonna let you in, Chef. Well, you and Chef do. And after this, y'all, I'm out of here. Rod, what's your thoughts?
Hey, what's up, DeeDee? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, my thoughts is I think it's I don't know. I think it's over for women. I think it's over. I think
You always say that.
I do that. I try to find a glimmer of hope, but I can't. It get worse and worse. I don't know. Just like the black community is like the laughing stock of civilization, and it's like it just I look at the line and reason, the line of thinking, and just the reasoning. It's just insane. It just is, And I think and this is gonna get worse. It is, it's gonna get worse. And like I tell men, the only women you can save right now are your daughters. That's it, That's it. The rest of them, they just too far gone. They are too far gone, And you can't tell him nothing. You can, especially no black man. He can't say nothing. He can't. He definitely can't say no black man. Okay, but it's like nobody can't tell him nothing, DeeDee. So I don't know, DeeDee. I really wish I had the answers. I do, but I think it's it. It's the fourth quarter, DeeDee, and the clock is winding down. So I don't know. I don't know, DeeDee.
So there's
But
no
yeah. Huh?
There's no more hope left.
It don't seem like DeeDee. It don't. It don't seem like this. No, it's like it gets worse and worse. Like I don't know if I told you. I think I told you a while ago. I went to the gas station, put some gas in my car. I showed up. In my truck. I got a Yukon Denali 2024. So I go in, I put gas in my truck, and I go to grab a Gatorade. I walk out. Some young lady walks up talking about some. Can I get shit? Now she ain't know me from Adam, DeeDee. Can I get around your truck? Can you take me here? I said no. I ain't gonna take you nowhere. No. No, it's just, I mean, it's just the mindset, DeeDee. I mean, they're gone, DeeDee. It's over. It is over. The game is over. We don't win at a triple overtime and lost. So I don't know, DeeDee. I don't. I really wish I had an answer. I really do, but I don't know. I don't know.
I got you right.
Yeah.
Chef Bay, what's going on, Chef Bay? In the building?
You know me. You
How you
know
been?
me.
Good
Good.
seeing
You
you. I
been?
like when you pop up. Whenever you do, you don't pop up often. I'm glad to see you. What's going on? I'm loving your background too. I love
Oh,
your
yeah,
background.
yeah,
Like,
that's my. I use it for my podcast too. But I mean, it's my living room as well.
it's your living room. Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, appreciate that. Got the little, little gold flame for you. You
Oh,
know.
it's very nice. I like it.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts? You know, I've been saying the same thing for the longest. What's your thoughts? What you think about everything?
I'm gonna just say a few things and leave it alone. You know what I mean? But don't like the anti-black hatred. Come on, Mr. Ferg, coming out here talking about you gonna start registering your people as white. You look like you would do that. Come on, like let's
I
not.
think he joking though, Chef. He joking.
We
He ain't
shouldn't
serious.
joke. We should never, as black people in America, joke about our people on a public platform to the point of denigrating us as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm done with black people. I'm changing my whole thing. Okay, man. Oh, and look, I understand because a lot of this, to be honest, like even O'Shea and other people are starting to talk about the anti-black hatred against black women in the manosphere and the red pill and just this kind of space. Not saying that your space is this, but they're starting to have videos about that. And I talked about that on here long ago. You know what I'm saying? Ever since, because I never let that stuff slide because we as black people aren't the only ones doing whatever they're saying and aren't the only ones doing all this other stuff. We may have certain things in our culture that's slightly different, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's not black people as a whole. But I wanted to really chime in about, people talking about what the man was wearing and how the girls, denied the man because of what he was wearing when the initial thing is to go off of looks. So going off of looks, like I think there was the guy that walked in with the turban. You got another guy in a tech company. I don't know if I didn't see the whole thing, but I've watched all the Pop the Balloons though. So like you got a guy that is in a tech company and this and that, but he came on with a flannel shirt and an anime shirt under the flannel shirt with some expensive shoes, but they were ugly expensive shoes. So it's just like if you don't have swag, it's okay for the women to ask for swag too. If men can ask for natural hair, no nails, no lashes, little makeup, this and that, how come the women can at least ask you to dress nice? If you're coming on a public platform where it's already been known to have millions of views, and you're also there to try to catch a female out of 10 females or however many, I'm gonna dress. You already know me. I'm dressed to impress all the time. Anyway, I'm surprised I ain't got a blazer on, but I got the Versace. But I'm typically dressed to impress. Even going up to Walmart, if if people ain't gonna dress up to at least come on a show to try out for multiple women, they need to be X'd off of there. And if y'all, and I just got to say this last thing, and I'm gonna leave it alone. But a lot of the guys who I used to argue with on here, are you guys getting any women anymore or at all? Out of all this time that when I first came on here, are you guys getting anybody? Or are you just probably gonna lie to me and tell me you are? Y'all say that there's no solution. Last guy said there's no solution. I'm gonna tell you my solution and I'll be done. My solution, and this is, you can go one way or the other. You can either be married, find you a female, and that takes time, that takes getting your resources up, that takes vetting, you can still find a female out here. People are still just tripping. Don't get me wrong, it is a little bit crazy out here at the same time. I'm not gonna deny that, but I will say this: you can also have a team of females. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with having 2, 3, 4 females as long as they're okay with it. You're okay with it. They don't have to know each other, but they need to know that you're not monogamous. Need to know that you have options. You know what I mean? But you're gonna have to get your life up. Look at my shit coming apart. My damn wallpaper has been kind of tripping. But if I did the math on this. So let's say you all are scared to get divorced because your money is going to get taken. They're going to take half of your bread. Let's just say you make $5 million within the next 20 years of your life. Within the next 10, let's just say 10, you make $5 million. And you think that you're going to get married and the girl can take half of it. That's $2.5 million. Well, you can either find you a female that could take you for the 2.5 million, or you can get with 3 or 4 women, take care of them. If you don't believe in taking care of women, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? Find you some women that are people who don't want to be taken care of, but take care of a couple, 2, 3 different women, pay, you know what I'm saying, whatever you want to pay. It will come out cheaper in the end. You'll have a bunch of dynamic relationships. You can switch them out whenever you want to. You have your options. You can keep doing your life. You have your singlehood. You ain't got to keep complaining about women because you're getting what you want. They're getting what they want from the relationship out of you, or whatever the case may be. But it's like everybody just keeps hollering, there's no options, it's all over. But it's like, dude, either go get one female, go get multiple females, or go be gay. One of the three, okay? If you want to be gay, go be that. I feel like most of the guys on here must be edging that way, because you can't keep complaining about women all this time and never do something to actually make up for that, to actually go get the women. I can pull up plenty of women, or pictures of me and women on my phone. Y'all know me, I'm the proof king. I will pull it up. You know what I mean? So anyways, I'm going to shut up, let you say what you got to say if you got questions.
No, I don't have any questions. I kind of know I already know your perspective. I already know. What you're saying, I expect you to say. I never forgot. So I get it. I respect everybody's perspective. That's it. We all don't think alike. I agree with some things you say, some things I don't agree with, but it's fine. I don't, I'm not, it is what it is, but
I got to fix my wall.
I do think there are things that men can do to better themselves too, but you know how I feel. I know a lot of women who need a lot of work, but they're not acknowledging it. And a lot of them run into good dudes, and a lot of dudes who make good money, but their relationships don't go anywhere because the guys are looking for something more from those particular women. Like, those women don't measure up. Just like there are men who don't measure up to the certain, for the type of women that they say they want, so the relationship don't really go anywhere. So I think we all could stand to do better. There's nothing wrong with doing better and growing. There's nothing wrong with that, especially if you're not getting what you want. And I think the problem I have, as a woman, and I know the nature of women. That's why I talk about women, because I know what women do. And I think a lot of us are just not accountable for our actions. That's all I'm saying. Look, a lot of women complain about the men that they want. A lot of them meet good men who have the qualities that they want, but then when they get the man, they find other problems with him. And then instead of trying to work with the man and build, they just rather go look for somebody else, and that keeps them out there looking, and they never really get what they say they want. Now, if you tell me, you know what, I don't really want a man, I don't really want to be married, I just want to go out and have fun with, that's okay, cool, then do that. I think that's easier for a lot of people anyway. But if you say you want a husband and you want a commitment from a man, and you meet a guy who's that type of guy, then you complain, oh, he's not this, he's not that. Well, you got to pick and choose. You got to know what it is you want, and know that if you want a guy who's committed and there with you and all of that, that's going to look a certain way, versus a man who doesn't want to be committed. That's going to look, but you like him, but he's not committed. That's going to look a certain way. He might have 3, 4 women, or whatever. He's going to move the way he want to move. And if you're okay with it, cool, go live that life. I just think a lot of women aren't serious about what they want. Because when you come across it, you still have a problem with it. That's all I'm saying. Know what it is that you want. You get it, cool. If you can't get it, maybe try something else. Same way you say about the men. Like, if you want a woman, you can't get one, maybe you can make some changes to what you're doing to try to get the type of woman you want. And then once you get what you want, then you wouldn't be complaining about it. You see what I'm saying? So I think that goes both ways with men and women. I think we all have room. Being married, people think because you're married that, marriage, I believe in marriage, but marriage is not, it's work. You still got to work. You don't just get married and, oh, that's it, we good. No, you got to keep the relationship going. You still got to do things to keep your marriage intact. You can't just sit around and think that, oh, I'm married, I just, whatever, I don't have to do nothing else. No, it's constant work on both parts. So just getting the relationship is not the key, but maintaining it is where the work really comes in at. That's all I feel about that. That's it.
Yeah, and I'll just say this last thing, and I'll be done. But like, I definitely understand what you're saying. Like I definitely have gripes with women. The accountability thing, it is a thing. It's
Yeah.
definitely something that I probably would say that I dissolved both my last major relationship and possibly and my marriage for is really the accountability. Like it's you're doing things, but then you're not being accountable for them, and then there's the blow up afterwards, and not being able to
Yeah.
communicate, and now we're not being able. Now we're arguing, and it's just a whole fight, And so
Yeah.
I've never really had a problem with women with the other things men say, the hair, the this, the that, the makeup, the whatever. That's trivial. And to be honest, if that's the type of woman you want, there's plenty of women out there that's like that. You can go to the mall right now. There's plenty of women up there walking with normal makeup, no makeup, regular hair, all that. So don't, if you're gonna point out I like the girls to get dressed up. I like the girl to switch the hair up all the time. You know what I'm saying? I like the girl to switch
Yeah. Right.
bodysuits. I love a bodysuit chick. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I mean, and I'm just saying, I just think that some of the guys, and I've always said this, the guys got to do better, and they got to be honest with themselves. Last thing, like this last dude, Rob was just saying, was like he tried to make it seem like the girls wasn't wearing much that came on the show compared to the dude. And it's like the girls really kind of came to dress to impress. Y'all don't really have to do a lot if you got a nice figure, body, whatever, and whatever. But I mean, they came pretty dressed. There might have been one or two that's typically on the Pop the Balloon show that's on some regular shit stuff. But typically they come dressed, and we just got to do better as men and present ourselves better. Even if you're a nerd, like most of the people on here probably are, even if you're just a loner or whatever the case may be, you got to figure out how to break out of that. Figure out how to get your swag up, get your money up, get your something up. Even if you don't get your money up, you can at least get your swag up. Go shop in the clearance section at Express. I do. That's why I get a lot of my suits. You know what I'm saying? I'm walking around looking clean, getting all kind of compliments. I barely paid over a couple hundred or barely $100 for the whole fit. You know what I'm saying? I might have my expensive stuff here and there, but I still am conscious. Even when I buy my designer, I'll go buy some $1,000 shoes for $250 at Nordstrom's Rack. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can still do things and try to put yourself up there as a man, but still be conscious of what you're spending and not have to go too far. So yeah, I mean, we got to do something. We can't just say, hey, accept me with the way I dress like a slob. I have a regular job. I'm 30K or 40K a year. I don't care about making anything happen in the future. Just come here because I'm a man and just give me what I got, give me what you got, and come here and don't be having all these extra things. It's just like, we gotta, if the women can have if the men can have preferences, the women can have preferences. Now the women can be a little bit extra sometimes. Yeah, I've seen they long live,
Yeah.
but they can have something at least. But anyway,
Gotcha.
I
Well, I
appreciate you.
appreciate you. Yeah, take care. Hopefully you come up again. I'm gonna keep doing it like this because that panel stuff got crazy. So I'm gonna keep doing individuals. So definitely come back up here and give your. I like to hear your perspective. I really do. So please don't be a stranger.
I'll be back. For sure.
Okay. I appreciate you. Take care. See you soon. See you
Have
soon.
a good one.
You too. Avenge the Ancestors, thank you so much for the super chat. Says hello, Queen DeeDee, panel in room 3. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Bernard, thank you for the super chat. Says men, get your bread up, get your passport, and date with a purpose overseas. I promise you, we'll never look at dating here in the States again. Baby, thank you so much for the super chat, Bernard. I appreciate you. Michael, what's going on? I'm gonna go ahead and let you respond, but then I'm gonna get out of here.
Hey, how you doing, Miss DeeDee? I'm gonna keep this
Good.
really brief. I haven't heard from you in a while.
Gotcha.
I heard you say that whole panel thing got kind of crazy, didn't it?
Yeah, so we're gonna do it like this. One-on-one is much better. Y'all can give your thoughts and keep it moving.
Got you. So here's my thoughts, and I'll be really quick.
Okay.
We both men and women have issues. I know I have a lot of issues. Yeah, there's a lot of things about me that you don't know. There's a lot of things about you that I don't know. So we all have issues. We all have things to work on. But what everybody's seeing from both male and female side is that there's one side that has a hard time taking accountability and taking responsibility for their actions, and then there's another side that has the same problem, but it's not as a whole. If you know what I'm trying to say, we as men, we have to take accountability for our actions. We have to take accountability for our mistakes and our failures and everything that is causing us to fall. and stuff like that, and that's causing us to go through a lot of pain, or making things are not being able to get the one we want. But women, because society has coddled women, because according to what the scriptures say, they are the weaker sex. Not to be offensive or anything like that, but because they're the weaker sex, society has coddled them. They babied them. They've given them a lot of leeway and a lot of power that they don't give men, because we are men. So society. So the thing about it is that women have to understand that their only hope is to submit to men, a real man that's going to take care of that's going to take care of his responsibilities, that's going to put his education first, that's going to put his spiritual value first, and that's going to stand on his purpose before he even get to her. I was at the table today when I have a communion with my mother and stepfather, and I told them that a real man is a man who takes what you like to call his purpose seriously. We have to, as men, before we get to any woman, we gotta fulfill our purpose first. We gotta do what God called us to, God wants us to do first before we try to do anything else. So the thing about it is that with this whole situation with women being single moms, like I say, women hit the wall in their looks, and they hit the wall when they ain't got no children. When they have too many children, they can't give a man no children no more. My mother was lucky because my mother has a mature man on her side. But from a worldly standpoint, no, the women in this generation, because they don't have a spiritual value system, they will not be as lucky as the women from an older generation. So women have got to understand that in order to get the man they want, they have to start pursuing that man while they're young, while they're still able to satisfy him, while they're still able to give him children, while they still look good for their age, while they still got those looks and those characteristics. And men have to understand that in order to get the woman they want, they have to be on their purpose. They got to be able to take care of their responsibilities, and they got to be able to do what they have to do in order to show a woman that they're about something. So women and men have got to work on themselves before they get to each other. That's what I have to say.
Thank you. And I agree 100%. No lies detected. I appreciate what you're saying, Michael. I'm going to go ahead and I appreciate you. Definitely come up next time. I'm trying to go live Tuesdays and Fridays. So Tuesdays and Fridays.
I saw you on Tuesday. I missed you Tuesday, but I'll try to. I promise you, I'll be there this Tuesday and probably try to be there this Friday if I'm not working. But
Okay.
I'm gonna try to make it to your shows. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Michael. Take care.
No problem. Take care.
M. Jones, thank you for the super chat. Says, love the way you're managing your panel now. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the super chat. So we're gonna wrap up, you guys. Once again, thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate you guys' support for your super chats, cash apps, however you support the channel, being here, liking, sharing the videos, watching the videos. Definitely continue to watch the videos that are posted on the channel, you guys. I will be here Tuesdays and Fridays. I'm at 1:15 p.m. Central Standard Time, Tuesdays and Fridays. Remember that. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that you'll get the notification when I'm live, which will be Tuesdays and Fridays, 1:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll put it in the description as well, so you guys will have that. But Tuesdays and Fridays we go live. Definitely join the live stream and give your input. And that is it. I thank y'all once again for being here. Y'all be safe out here in these streets. Make sure you are watching the videos, you guys, on the channel and liking them, sharing them, all that good stuff. That definitely helps the channel out. So thanks y'all once again. I appreciate the feedback. Thank y'all so much for your support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah. Bye.